All right. Shout out to the family out there. We are now live. Thank you for being patient. Patient. Is it patient or patient? Patient. Thank you for being patient. Um, it is Saturday night. Woo! For some reason, we usually I don't plan it like this, but Red and Blue usually get lined up with the Saturday night shows on the channel. So something about that Saturnian
Because we
energy.
Saturday Night Live right here.
Saturday Night Live. So it's gonna be a fun night, y'all.
Those are some of our most classic shows going all the way back to like 2016 is those Saturday Night Live shows.
I'm gonna get to this commercial, but real quick, Blue. Me and Red was just talking. We definitely got to get back to the in-person interviews. I think Blue is absolutely magnificent at in-street interviews. I've never seen nobody like him. I remember we used to do the protests during that era of the police shootings. And I just want to get active in the in-person interviews this year. So y'all can stay tuned with we're gonna collaborate and do some things with that. But family, yeah, get comfortable. I see y'all lining up in. We almost at 500. Listen, we're gonna get to a quick commercial and we'll be right back, family. We're gonna have a real fun night. So if you can, make sure you share this video and please hit that like button. Be right back in 1 second, family.
Yes. It's the numerational session with King Simon. Text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And get my books on Amazon now.
All right. So we are back. I want to welcome to the platform once again. They need no introduction. These brothers have been here so many times. The red and the blue pillar, the pillars. Richfield and Pablo. Y'all got so many names. Y'all like P. Diddy, man. What's up with that, man?
Oh shit. Go ahead, Harlem. Talk that shit. Get in your bag early. Yeah, get in your baggington early. Take that.
Yo.
Yes, talk your shit. I'm about to put on my shiesty. Yeah, my furry shiesty. I'm about to go in.
That looks Brooklyn, man.
Shiesty. Yeah.
That looks very Brooklyn. Red.
This is Bronx drill right here.
You see my shit, the Kanye shit. My shit look Harlem. Your shit look Brooklyn, bro.
Oh nah, this is all Bronx right here. This is all Bronx drill right here.
Bronx drill, now facts.
Shout out to all of my Bronx, my Pelons. I said I'm the next Elon, straight out of Pelon.
Oh man, I wish we should.
Oh man,
I was about to say we should play that song tonight for the family. But should we play it tonight or should I save it for Melanin Monday?
Play it tonight, my friend.
I'll say while y'all talking, I'll set it up in the back.
Let's do that.
And damn, you know what? Let me see something real quick. Yeah, I think maybe I could.
Okay. Yeah, because now you can share audio good on things like StreamYard.
All right, family. So we back. Make sure y'all get the I Could Do Magic merch. Let me do a solo real quick.
Let them see that.
I got the
I don't think they know. Let them see that.
Yeah. So y'all gotta make sure y'all cop the I Could Do Magic merch. I got the link in the description of the video, but this shirt, the tree of life, the Ankh, the Ayara, the colors.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Gucci colors. Let me ask you, you got
yeah.
You got crew necks for those?
Not yet. But we need to get them, huh?
Hell yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we got that.
Shout out to AA. I got some of that AA crew neck, merch on.
Dope.
Wait, hold on. Shout out to Red Pill. I got some of that soldier culture on.
Yeah,
talk to me.
That joint slapping too.
Yeah, talk to me. Yeah.
Yes.
We got that cat in the hat. You know what I mean? Hold on.
That's right.
Look at it back.
Anti-social butterfly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on that.
I hear you, Red. So listen, y'all. First interview with y'all for 2024. So much controversy in the new year. Maybe Blue should do a quick breakdown. To start out the show.
Controversy.
Yeah, we're not. The people in
how much profit?
And there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with people saying it's not the official start of the new year. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't want to say.
Oh, that's what you mean. I get you.
Blue,
no problem.
For a couple of minutes, could you give a quick breakdown, because you broke it down on your Instagram, about why does this country celebrate January 1st as the beginning of the new year? Because a lot of people in the spiritual community consider spring the new year because that's when everything blooms. So it makes sense. but there's actually an occult meaning why January 1st is celebrated as the first day of the new year.
Right.
Blue, you illustrated one the best out of everybody. Could you tell us that real quick, my brother?
Yes. So, in particular, in our demonstration in our community, a lot of us like to say that we come from, ancient Kemet. We resonate with Syrian energy, right? We align ourselves with the Sirius star system. The Sirius star system is called the dog star, right? And the dog star is a feminine star, so that's a female dog, right? So that is Big Mama, and we continuously say that Big Mama visits on December 31st to January 4th, around on or about that time. She's at her highest declination right above the United States on December 31st, right? Perfectly stationed and conditioned. Um, and we find that the heliacal rising of Sirius Dog Star is during July the 4th, directly above, right? So this country has been orientated specifically to observe Sirius as the mother star or the guiding star of this particular plane of existence. Now, the usurpers can say that that's what they into, but we know that that's not them. So if that's who you are naturally, if you tapping into this information for everything else comedic, if you're on that frequency and that
You
calibration with
sound
everything
muffled,
else,
Blue. You sound muffled. I want to hear this. I don't know what you just sound muffled.
is it better now?
You're much better. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so if people attune themselves to the comedic calibration for everything else that they do, right? Then how can you miss the biggest celebration of it all, right? So it's almost like the conscious community is cutting off their nose to spite their face
Mm.
to say that it's not the new year and whose calendar you don't even know where you're at. You know what I'm saying?
Ah.
Because it's like the Western calendar, the Eastern calendar, because in the East they celebrated Hanukkah, and in the Coptic Ethiopians celebrated the New Year in September. So what place are you talking about? They was setting on firecrackers in Ghana, and everybody was over there talking about it's the New Year in Ghana. So it's not the New Year in in the West,
Mm.
right? Where things come to die. So you don't understand the mythos of what the West is about. You don't understand your connection to the perfect black. You don't understand who Asar is. So you damn sure don't know who Haru is. So you pump faking. You on the Instagram trying to, you are promoting conscious tropes that we also did. But I
In our
will allow
unknowingness.
that. So in our unknowingness, I understand it during the gestation periods, right? As becoming a supreme mathematician, I'm like, okay, the winter months are 3 months. That's 90 days. The gestation period is 270 days. So that's 9 months, right?
Mm.
In Africa, of all places, before you even have the baby, before you conceive the baby, before the man puts the sperm in the womb, and they make an intention to have the baby, the woman
Fact.
goes and sits under a tree to hear the wind so she can find the baby's song. Then they sing the song while they're having the baby. They're singing the song to the baby while they're in the belly. The mother brings the song to the village. So when the baby's born, they sing the song to the baby. If the baby wanders, then the village is singing the song to summon the baby back.
Woo,
Mm.
this nigga came
So
out shooting, Red.
what
Mm.
Nigga came
tradition
out
do you
shooting
niggas
today.
belong to?
Oh
Got him.
shit.
You feel me?
What?
And it's also in our ancient traditions, right? As it's told through the lens of Judaism, they call the mother a mini prophet. This is another one. Let's dismiss this conscious trope. Your
Uh-oh.
mother, the mini prophet. So if your mother gives you a name, there's a calibration and a vibration on that name that you whisper to her in order
Mm.
to put on you. So before you abandon that name for something that's 14 syllable, right, conscious, you need to find out how you calibrate to the name that you chose for part of your assignment before you abandon it, trying to get under the canopy of consciousness with these other niggas who
Mm.
seemingly admittingly don't know themselves, because we all question on the quest to know thyself.
Damn.
Damn. Fuck
Blue.
that shit.
All right,
This
Blue.
nigga.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, man. What you and your lady got going on over there, man? What y'all sipping on, man? What y'all doing over there,
Not
She
man?
that
made me,
white
she
star.
made me
Not
my,
that white
she
star.
made me my fried mushrooms today.
Oh
You know what I'm
man.
saying? And I like vegan Chipotle bowls when I'm on the road. So she mimicked it. She made the fried onions, right? She said what? Bay Pole, yeah, that's Bay Pole
Bay
over there.
Pole.
Hey, Olay.
Oh, Bay Pole. That's what's up. All right, all
Hey,
right, all
Olay.
right. That's what's up.
Mhm.
But I did put a presentation together, and I hit on a lot of these points. I wanted to make sure that this was collegiate and strategic, and yeah, I'll allow you to ask the questions that need to be asked. But I do have a presentation
What about the serious joint or?
about this whole shit, about everything.
I read
All right.
that.
Yeah. Let's get into that probably at the halfway mark.
All right, cool.
Let's just I want to start out with. All right, so we've been talking Blue, you've been talking about the year Kobe and the mama mentality. I had Aquarius come on my show the other day, said that
Shout
we
out.
got to be
Shout out
married.
to
Yeah, shout out
Aquarius.
to Aquarius. She talked about how this is the most important year to be married to your purpose.
Purpose.
And Minister Drew been on here talking about deep diving into your purpose. So
Hold the
a lot
presses.
it's what you said?
Hold the presses, man. Because
Yeah.
we don't say it enough.
Yeah.
Salute and shout out to Minister Jew, bro. What you
Yes.
came and did on this platform the other day,
God is weird.
God's here. You
Yeah.
feel me?
Yeah,
God is
God is.
weird. And
Shout out to Noble and Pooh as well.
I've been owning that phrase, telling people I'm weird, not a weirdo. It's a difference.
Yeah.
It's a big
You know,
difference.
because
Weird
you're able to
science.
figure the definition out. And ironically, in the Western Hemisphere, weird is an acronym for Western educated, independent, rich, and democratic.
Mhm.
That is an acronym they put on European Western males. They also claim the title of weird. They wear it proudly as well as an acronym. Look it up.
Mhm.
But yeah, please continue.
Indeed. So, a lot of people, and it just feels like it's time. It feels like, what it feels like we've gotten so much information. It's it only makes sense to deep dive into your purpose at this time in incarnation. So I want to ask y'all something to start the show, and I'll answer this as well. Um, what spiritual lesson along your journey did you learn that you totally didn't expect? Like just it took you a whole nother way. Like you going this way, and then all of a sudden something happened, and like, oh shit, now you're going that way. What spiritual lesson was that along your journey?
Um,
Because I want to prepare people for the there's a lot of unexpected turns in the spiritual journey. So yeah, go ahead.
yeah, interfacing, appreciation, and interacting with ancestors as told to me by the conscious community, that was not correct. You know what I'm saying? Um, it was just a lot of misinformation. You know what I mean? And when I got into the realms and found out that that's not necessarily what it was, I had to go a little bit deeper. You know, I had to delve into areas that were uncomfortable because there's not enough master teachers in the community necessarily speaking about them in that way. Like as a community, we have not even discussed what our funerary rites are as a culture. You know what I'm saying? How do you prepare the body? How do you consecrate the body to go in the earth? What parts of the body are kept for ceremonial purposes? How do you maintain or make sure that the soul makes an ascension in the 72 hours that our ancestors always spoke about? How do you acquire the body at time of death? You know what I'm saying? These things are very important because this is what our entire cultures were built around, the ascension protocol. So, you know, every time one of our ancestors or our elders in the community transition, they get buried in the church and they're getting buried in the dirt at a cemetery. And you don't see it's not like Masonic cemeteries. You know what I'm saying? They make sure that they are inclusive of ceremonial engagement before they send a person off. They understand the importance of that. So we might be like dogs in this community chasing our tail. It might just all be ego based because it's not really to prepare nobody. It's a pissing contest, but it doesn't deal with the pedigree of life of living, and it doesn't really deal with what I'm saying, transitioning. Nobody have explained to me financial literacy in this community until some of the younger people in the community came along. You know, we haven't even had communications with people in our network. Like, do you know how to balance a checkbook? You know what I'm saying? Like simple shit. So those were the things. Like I think that with some of the information, I got too far ahead of myself, so I had to go back to make sure that I checked the simple stuff off, the rudimentary elementary parts that that you need to make sure that you are proficient in if you out here adulting.
Red, I'm gonna ask this question again. What spiritual lesson did you learn, my brother, along your journey that you totally did not expect?
There are many, and for the sake of timing, I'll only mention one at the moment. When technology and spirituality met at the intersection, I wasn't prepared for that. Okay. Technology is, in a sense, spirituality, because anything that you see in the technological realm started in the mental realm. There's no technology yet. It is not sentient. It doesn't create itself. So as of today, all technology started in man's mind. All technology started out in the mental plane. It is all defined as Heka, right? So anything that's in mind is spiritual. However, when spirituality, right, which is different from spirit or spiritual, but when spirituality as a movement, a new movement that was budding amongst our generation, I'm speaking about spirituality from our generation, from our perspective, when it met technology, which was, it's not part of nature, right? Because you can't take a phone in the ocean with you.
Yes, you can.
You can't. Well, you can't take a. You could take a waterproof iPhone or a Samsung in the water. However, I can't take this camera. I can't take this laptop. I can't take. I have a $15,000 computer that got water spilt on it, and it wasn't really a whole cup of water. The water spilt on the table and just brushed the underside of it. Technology, computer gone. Right. It's not it what technology brought is a level of ego that was talked about in the movie The Matrix. So the movie The Matrix is somewhat of a dichotomy of the intersection of where technology and spirituality don't coexist, or how they were actually an antagonist and protagonist relationship. So I saw technology bring ego. It brought about this fake sense of individualism, right? Because spirituality doesn't teach that. Spirituality teaches the power of the collective, not the fractal, not the broken up pieces, but the collective. Technology makes people feel like they're individuals because they have the 14 and you got the 13, right? Because they got more memory and you don't. Things like that. They're, or they got more followers, or they got more, algorithm wise, the more impressions. Technology is this glass that's in between me and you, touching flesh to flesh and really getting a charge or really making something really happen. Technology is almost like we're behind this glass mirror. Like Blue Pill says, the phone is the black mirror. So I just saw how it compromised a spiritual people, because people are not as spiritual as they were before phones became smart.
Mm, mm.
They claim to be knowing more spirituality, but at the same time, real spirituality, physical spirituality, real world spirituality, like in the real, not what you could do in the real and whatnot, that is being lost for this new this synthetic artificial AI version of what people call spirituality.
Excellent, excellent. I would say one of the biggest lessons that I learned that I didn't expect along this spiritual journey, I would guess I would say I didn't realize just exactly, we hear about reality being subjective, but I didn't realize exactly how subjective it really was until I was on the journey. And I realized how much of an individual journey it is, regardless of, and maybe that's just my journey, regardless of how much of it that we push of us being a collective, which is very important for you to truly be your unique, authentic self.
Right.
It's something that nobody will understand. And you want so bad to talk to somebody about certain things that you experience and you just can't. because nobody's gonna understand it. But your height, so it's like you really, I just understood that I really had to develop this relationship with my higher self. The greatest, because the thing about it is, you'll tell your journey to your master teacher and your quote unquote master teacher, and they would like be like, nah, they'll say something to the contrary of the journey you're supposed to go on. And you have to be so strong
Right.
that you don't look at like you're not worshiping nobody. Because if you worship man, you will never find your journey. And the majority of people in our community, whether they admit it or not, they personality worshipers. If
They
if
are.
if if and I don't want to use this analogy, but if one of these brothers on the channel told some of these dudes to drop to their knees and show gratitude, these niggas would. These niggas would.
We've seen it
That's
happen
we
already.
seen it happen. That's how much followers these Negroes are. They would
Right.
drop to their knees and show gratitude. So you have to realize how individual it is, and that you want this community, you want it, and you're gonna get it. But there's just so many things that you just got to keep to yourself because it's meant to be to yourself. And not only your wife or your husband is gonna understand, your children won't understand it. It's just totally 100% for you. So I
Can
just
I
had to realize that. You got it,
can I
brother.
add
Yeah.
on? Because this
Yes.
is an interesting point that you brought up.
Yes.
And I also have to speak about the other side of the coin with technology, that this is technology is providing the world the opportunity to see for the first time in real time people evolve and transform before their very own eyes.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Mhm.
This walk that we're collectively on, that we could say, I could tell my son, well, I am a pioneer who was at the beginning of a new era and a new epoch where we were living our lives, right? In the quote unquote front of hundreds of thousands of people. Keep in mind, you've been everybody on this thing been a college football game before where the capacity is about 60,000.
I never been to one. No, I never been to one. I,
Okay, you've been in the Garden in
yeah.
Barclays when it was
Yeah.
packed.
Yeah.
All right. So have you ever been to like a Bad Bunny concert? I won't judge you. Like you went
No.
to Rihanna, you
I
made it
went
to
to
Renaissance,
the
fam. I
last
think I seen the
concert.
movie. Did I see you in it?
Listen, man. You Brooklyn dudes got jokes, but listen, the last concert I went to was Kanye when he was at Made in America in Philly. That's the last one I went to in like 2014.
And what was the capacity though?
Oh, I don't know, but it was jam. I
Yo,
was like a sardine.
we
Okay.
gotta get you out, man. I'm
Well, currently, huh?
Huh?
gonna sponsor the next concert to come through town, man. We gotta get you out.
Yeah, we're
No,
gonna get
no
you out.
fact.
But you Harlem brothers, man. You gotta get you outside. But Blue Pill's video on EYL, Earn Your Leisure platform, is almost at 4 million. What I'm saying is this: if you were to see what 4 million looks like in real life people, right? The same way if you were to see what 60,000, it looks like that. If you're in a stadium and you feel that power in that stadium, what if they're all looking at you and you're doing 60,000 on a video? Your platform is at 400,000. So we are coming into a day because of technology. They're going to show me, you, Blue, and everybody else what that not only looks like, but the power and the benefit of that. That's the future that we're going into, right? Technology is about to do a lot of things in the year of 2024 like it did it in 23. This year is going to be the year of virtual. This is the year of augmented. This thing is going to open up. So the flip side of technology that could be a real positive is there's never been a time where we could broadcast around the world in real time without too many middlemen in the middle of us. I'm directly broadcasting to somebody around the world right now in real time. I'm saying what I want to say. I'm expressing myself to a degree to say basically what I'm feeling. You know what I mean? What my plans may be. If I have an idea that I want to share with the world, I'm able to do that right now. What if our master teachers had this? Imagine how their lives would be taking place in front of the gaze of millions of people. So we're in the eyes of millions of people. We're literally living in history right now.
No, you fact. That's facts. That's facts.
So we're gonna make the best of the technology that has done what for all three of us. It has changed not only our lives, but anywhere around the world that we go to. Our social credit is at a all-time high, especially in the post-Cat Williams world. Our social credit is at an all-time high because they try to scare you with social credit, but it could be a good thing. But please continue.
Yo, you know what's funny? First of all, shout out to Urban X TV.
Shout
Shout
out
out
to
to Urban
Um,
X. Dot Malcolm.
um,
Mama Dot. Yeah.
yeah,
Mama Dot.
yo, Dot. I would love to know if you could put it in the chat and maybe we could read it later on. Damn, I wish I would have called Dot too and had him get on here. But Dot, if you could tell us in the chat, what spiritual lesson did you learn that you didn't expect? Because you've been in this thing a long time, Dot.
Longest.
So
Right.
if you can, Dot, put that in the chat and let us know, Dot. I really would appreciate that. Yeah, you know what's weird? You just talking about the support and the millions of people that watch and follow and things like that. I forgot who I was talking to the other day, but you know what's weird? Like we have these channels, and my channel, it's primarily a metaphysical channel, uplifting the melanated race, trying to reawaken our people. It's global, it's everybody, but
That's fine.
I really want our people to know who they are because we are
You're not
like
trying. You're not
totally.
trying. You're not
Yeah,
trying.
yeah. I'm sorry. I got to stop using that word. You're right. But one of I would say my biggest supporter in the super chat, and I said this other day, is a white lady. When it comes to my super chat, a white lady is my biggest financial supporter because I'm a Virgo, so I analyze. I'm noticing shit. I'm watching. So out of all the black people that come on the chat, and I've been a shout out to everybody that support me, but it's just weird, and I don't know what message I'm supposed to get from that. But out of everybody, it's a white lady who go hard supporting me on the super chat.
Opposites do attract.
Yeah.
Huh?
Opposites do attract.
Yeah.
The law of opposites is at play. The year 2023 showed me I had more success in rooms of people who should not do business with me, who should not be interested in what I got to say, who should not be supporting me. The law of opposites works. When you are in places where everybody is talking about the same thing that you're talking about, and they know what it's a bunch of knowers and no doers, it's a difference than when you're in a different building and you are the main attraction because you stand out, because you know who you are, you standing on business. Shout out to King Harry. You're going to have a different experience.
Right.
Don't go in those rooms like Kevin Hart and them. Alleged. Don't go in those rooms like them four people that the Kings are alleged. Don't go. That's not your proper persona. So what Cat Williams was telling you is that it's not a problem. It's not about going in those rooms. It's about moving through a room full of vultures, knowing who you are, standing 10 toes on business and not being compromised. You will be rewarded because this is a marathon.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't a sprint. This is a marathon. So already Mamba mentality 2024, Kobe is showing us in the beginning of the game, y'all, that if you stand on business and if you stay disciplined, you will be rewarded. Don't worry about how many movies your ops and all of these other people who been grabbing ankles are getting. That's not the reward. That's an empty, quote unquote, that's an empty gesture in that whole world that those people set up and that program that they program is falling apart.
It's a miscalculated metric, right?
Yes.
If it does not add up to anything, if you can't walk away from it and still have your integrity intact, it's a miscalculated, merit. Like their flex is empty. It's like,
right,
we want that,
because
right?
you
But
can't
the illusion, right?
Right.
The illusion has been created in a way in which those are the metrics by which you measure yourself in a society, because we allow someone else to define what success means. And the people who define success are the same people who created what the whole concept of the American dream is. And they also created the mechanism to promote and propagate that across the planet. We know who we're talking about.
Take that. So it's all about the Benjamins, right? Was not just a song, it was a mentality. Not only was it a mentality, it was a program. Not only was it a program, it was a mantra. Not only was it a mantra, it was lifestyle. It's all about the Benjamins was a whole epoch in an era. Who was behind that? Who was the architect? He's a Scorpio, right? He's not an involved Scorpio, unfortunately. He's one of the darkest Scorpio. Me and this man that you see standing right here, we share birthdays, not signs, birthdays, literal birthdays with Scorpios who are infamous. Okay, infamous. So we know how the dark Scorpio gets down.
Right.
So our dark hermit that we share a birthday with is Boozy Badass. Okay.
Right.
Who beat 9 bodies and a few other things when he just came home. And we know how busy Boozy gets. Shout out to Baton Rouge and the boot. Not only do we share a birthday with Boozy, but we share a birthday with King Charles. And I ain't talking about Flannery either. I'm talking about King Charles from the UK, King Pindar, right? The biggest one of the top op.
Y'all seen though, y'all notice, see, y'all seen it live here. The Scorpios told me, Blue Pill was like, yo, we got to get you out more, right? And now these are the Scorpios. What Cat Williams said about Diddy, the Scorpio. Cat's a Virgo. He said, you got to tell Diddy no when he wants to party. See, them Scorpios, they try to get y'all out there. Blue, I got to tell you no, Blue. I got to get on my cat.
Take that.
Blue want to take me out to party. Blue.
Oh, talk
no,
that
Blue.
shit, Harlan.
I got to get on my Cat Williams shit, Blue. No, Blue. I am not partying with you.
Nah, I said I will sponsor you a ticket for you to go to a concert. You can take you and your lady. You ain't going nowhere with me. Good.
Yo, tell me that wasn't funny. This nigga Cat Williams said, when Diddy wants to party, you have to tell Diddy no.
Gotta say no.
You have to say no.
I have to say no.
Nigga said, I'm trying to keep that.
And
yo,
I said no.
I'm trying to keep that virgin b-hole. Yo, I'm like, yo, this dude is wild.
Hole. Okay.
That
was a stand-up. That was a
sit down. Listen.
It's a not stand-up comedy, a sit-down comedy now.
Hold
Facts.
on. Yeah, he created a new genre. And the new genre is called conversational comedy. And it's not stand-up routines, it's sit-down comedy.
That's a fact.
Understand? This is a new genre that we bore witness to. It is 20 million plus views thus far.
Oh, and before we continue, I'm sorry, Blue. Before we continue, I asked that question to Dot. I just want to say this before I end up forgetting. He said I asked him about the spiritual lesson that he learned that he didn't expect. He talked about the understanding the sound and vibration taught by the elders. That is a big one. That's a big one because we thinking music is just music. Is sound. Sound is everything. Music is everything.
Everything.
So yeah. Yes. Thanks for answering that right there, Dot. I appreciate that. But Blue, go ahead, my brother. I'm sorry.
Yeah. What was the last thing I said?
I forgot.
Oh yeah, it was a sit down. It was a sit down. You know, it wasn't a stand-up comedy special. It was a 2-hour sit down.
3 hours.
3 hours sit down conversational comedy special. Because you can't tell me he didn't come there with pre-prepared routines. Those were skits, right? Like
he has Shannon asking those questions that he gave him.
Like Chappelle explained in The Dreamer, right? He explained set a routine up, right? It takes a minute to get into your routine, but once you're in a routine, right, you can get to punching, right? A volley of punches. And that's exactly what he did. I'm looking at it. Before you are 15 minutes in, he set the whole thing up, right? And just went. He went in as a punchaholic. Now, let's not compare Dave Chappelle and Cat Williams. Somebody did that, even as Virgos. They are totally two different comedians and they have different rhythms that they operate in. Dave Chappelle is a super conversational comedian, right? And he plays smaller rooms and he has conversations with you and he reels you in. And it's almost like you don't even know where it's coming from because it's almost a conversation, right? Cat Williams has a somewhat of a different style. And we can see the comparison between both of their comedy specials.
And he's an intellectual conversationalist.
If you don't think what you watch was a comedy special, then you're missing the whole point of what the new comedy is going to be. The new comedy is going to be a blend and a mesh between reality. And I guess since we started there, we can do this thing real quick where we just want to explain that this is a reiteration of a conversation that was started here many moons ago when we were speaking about the dynamic of our brother Dick Gregory, right? And Dick Gregory represented what's called double consciousness in this country, right? The comedian is the most powerful card in the deck. It's the Joker in the deck. It could go anywhere, and it has the ability to challenge the king like the court jester. It can make fun of the king to his face and get away with it. Nobody else in the court can do that. So the jester has this ability, this mutatable ability to be anywhere, go anywhere, hear anything, right? It got its ear to the ground, it's overhearing things, it knows things they ain't supposed to, and it's converting it, and you almost gotta laugh because you're like, damn, you got me. You know what I'm saying? So the Joker gives the king the ability to be human, because what's more human than laughing at yourself? If you can't laugh at yourself, you in trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So this skill set and this technique of the comedian, not everybody exercises the ability to be gambit with their Joker card though, right? Some want to reserve it and hide their hand, right? So the dichotomy has always been Dick Gregory, Bill Cosby, right? That dichotomy you can see in football is O.J. Simpson and Jim Brown, right? It's a repetitious dichotomy, and then when you look at the comedians who have made it, they're either one or the other or hybrids, right? When Richard Pryor came in right after them, he tried the Bill Cosby lane, and he could not succeed there, right? And then he let his collar down, and he went the Gregory route, and he found a success. Eddie Murphy came in, he did Gregory route, and ultimately went the Bill Cosby route to find his success. Right? Chris Rock is somewhat of a hybrid. You understand? Chris Tucker, forget about it. They just
You mean Christmas?
Hey, let me ask you this. Let's switch it up a little bit. What's your take on the whole alien in the mall in Miami thing that was going on? Is that pure buffoonery?
All
Is there
right.
any
So
credibility to that at all?
when I saw the video from the artist, there's an artist who has a video where he drew the depiction as to what happened. And his explanation as to what took place is that a portal was opened up by a group of children who were in the mall with book bags on, basically, playing around with a device. And they were, say it again.
with a device, right? A cube.
I said with a device.
Yeah.
So before I get into that device and speak about the theories about as to what's taking place, I want everybody to pay attention to who he said was in the building. Think Stranger Things, think Weird Science, think the same group of children in backpacks or teenagers in backpacks or hackers in backpack that I just saw a video in Times Square where they were able to hack all of the screens. And what did they have? They had a book bag and a computer, and the youth are using something called a flipper. I don't know if anybody knows about the flippers, but the flippers are these handheld devices that you could basically hack electromagnetic security systems. You know what I mean? And that's what you could hack like the McDonald's signs and stuff like that, right? So I'm not saying that they're using something like a flipper and whatnot. What they may be using is VR technology or AR technology. They have a technology called Magic Leap. And what Magic Leap is what you're seeing in those billboards when it looks like a lion or something is jumping out. Now, Magic Leap, and you have Raspberry Pi, you can have these open source computers. It's my humble opinion that they're using something with quantum mixed with GPT, and they've hacked something, and they're now able to open up portals and whatnot. And the story has it that this group of young teenagers, not a group of teenagers fighting, although there were teenagers in the mall who were on their regular teenager shit, but this group of young teenagers, and I'm assuming that they're not all melanated and whatnot. They did not look like they were hood children. They went around. They had a device. They activated the device. The device basically started changing the electromagnetic field, and it opened up somewhat of a portal. And out of that portal, a hand and a leg came out of. And then there are words that they were quote unquote entities that came through this realm, and they were walking around the mall. They said that they were not walking around the mall like they were trying to chase anybody down. They were walking down the mall like they felt like they were lost in a different dimension and whatnot. Think Jonathan Majors, King the Conqueror with the multiverse. They said that they were not walking, though. They said that they were literally glitching and moving and whatnot, going through walls. They were going through
Right.
windows. Right. So they were like, if they wanted to catch people and get into kill mode, they could have done that. However, that's not what it is. Yes, and I have to keep everybody in mind of not only Project Bluebeam, but the fact that we are now in 2024. This is the era of VR, AR, SR, spatial reality, augmented reality, virtual reality, the
Right.
meta glasses.
XR. Right. Mixed.
XR, right? Yes, mixed reality. So this is the beginning of a new cycle where you don't know what you see, because Midjourney 6 is putting out photorealistic pictures. There's no way to decipher anymore what is real from what is fake, and you could generate anything that you type in there, and now you can make it move with Runway ML. So this is the first time, but this will not be the last. This is the beginning of some type of deep you don't know what's real anymore. So
Ripley,
welcome to
believe it
that
or not.
quantum.
Right.
Right. We're in the quantum leap.
Facts.
We're in the quantum leap. You're gonna see people who are said to be deceased. You're gonna see entities. I'm not gonna get in no type of things like that, but the situation that took place in Japan just now, right? Right after the trailer came out for what? Godzilla versus King Kong, right? And then the scene where Godzilla was coming up, he was coming through the ground and it looked as if it was an earthquake. They was even saying in all of the melee that was going on in Japan, there was rumors of some type of entity inside of all of that fire and whatnot. A lot of subterranean Dumbo underworld activity is moving, right? There's a lot of things going on. Remember, they went into the war with Hamas in the tunnels, and then there's how many earthquakes on January 1st?
Too many.
Too many. So they flooded the tunnel. They flooded the tunnel with the Mediterranean Ocean and whatnot. You don't know where those tunnels go to. You don't know where those subterranean. Them tunnels in the Mediterranean are ancient pathways to Middle Earth, stargates, and all kind of things.
Yes.
Indeed, no, yeah. We definitely got to keep that in mind with the way technology is moving and what we're being shown on the internet. We just don't know, and Red always keeps us up to date. Technology is moving so fast, I can't keep up with it. But I always go to Red Pill. I think he's the perfect person to follow on Instagram and YouTube. He keeps us all up to date with the technology and what exactly is happening, what we need to be tapping into, what benefits us. So make sure y'all keep in touch with Red Pill with that. We did a workshop actually last year,
Yes,
Masters in the Universe, and that was an amazing workshop. A lot of people
that has to be
benefit.
revisited. That is monumental. We created multi-millionaires with that workshop, by the way.
That was a great workshop. A lot of people benefited from. Yeah, so that's that. You know, one thing I want to say that I was thinking about just with everything going on with the Kevin Hart, or not Kevin Hart, what's his name? Cat Williams,
Cat in the Hat.
and everything that's going on in the industry, you know, and I talked to Blue about this, so I think it was Red, one of y'all. You know how much the people who came before in the conscious community was criticized for saying what they said about all this stuff for years. You know how much Dr. Valentine was criticized when he said what he said about them folks, and they said, "Oh, he's homophobic. He's this or he's that."
Right.
Like,
He's
yo,
so obsessed.
brothers and sisters in this community, we're watching reality follow everything that they've laid out. Francis Christ Wilson and everybody act like they didn't they don't know what's going on. Like all these teachers didn't predict this, even whether it's Dr. Sabi or whatever. Like, yo, there's a community that has predicted 90% of the shit we see going on right now. Shout out to everybody who came before me and made it possible for me to do what I do. Real quick, let me give a quick shout out. Dick Gregory, Amos Wilson, Dr. Amos Wilson, Bobby Hammond,
Ashe. Gil
Dr.
Noble.
Yeah,
Ashe.
Gil Noble, Dr. Phil Valentine, uh,
Clemson Brown.
yeah, Dr. Delbert
Big
Blair
man.
with that. We talking aliens?
Yes, Hakeem Bey.
Dr.
Ooh, we
Delbert
talking.
Blair.
Listen,
Dr. Delbert Blair.
I need to hook my sound effects up. We
Elijah
need
Muhammad with the
with the
honor, the most
wheel,
honorable
the most honorable.
Elijah Muhammad. Like,
Facts.
bro,
Man,
Dawood,
True Ali.
Dawood,
Dawood.
Black Dot, Dawood.
Right.
Like, yo, these brothers and
His
sisters
name.
Uriel
was
Bay.
great. And they was called
Dawood.
crazy. They was called every
Panic.
conspiracy
Panic.
theorists.
Right. People
Let's
will call all
yeah.
kind of names.
Hold on. Let's just
Shout
clear
out to
this
all of them, y'all. Shout out to all of them.
real quick. Panic wrote a whole entire book, right, about the situation dealing with Hollywood and the
Hollywood,
dress.
yeah. You
So
right.
we want to at least edify, the good brother,
Azazel.
so that he has an entire anthology of work where he built upon this, right? Our brother Black Dot been laid out. Steve Coakley been laid out the groundwork. Black Dot gave you the entire blueprint of how the game works and how
Yes.
it's laid out. You know what I'm saying? From the entertainment industry aspect. Yes, Dr. Ben, Dr.
Yes.
Africa, Dr. Clark, Dr. Francis Cress Wilson,
C.
right?
Freemanell.
Yeah, Eileen Bay, C. Freeman,
Pascal Beverly Randolph.
all of them.
Brother
You know what I'm saying?
Dawood. Yeah.
And
We got
I want to
legends
say
as
that earlier. It's like we stand on the shoulders of some very when you were talking about technology and spirituality and things of that nature, we stand on the shoulders of some very esteemed elders who, yes, they did not have access to these particular portals. And I just be coming across random videos of Bobbies and Phils, and there be prophecies in it. You know what I'm saying? Did a current up to date joints like as if they made the joint literally yesterday, and it might have 800 views on it. You know what I'm saying? Things that are overlooked that overall general society might take for granted because they don't know the true intrinsic value of what these elders came and did in the darkness. Professor Griff, who pressed the line, who sacrificed it all,
facts.
right? From the 80s to this day, making sure that he sources the information and puts it in front of us in a way in which is digestible. I was sitting in a class with him on New Year's Eve, still getting information. What I shared with you about the song being sung to, that he wrote a whole book on that.
Yes.
So
Got a new project.
they're still teaching. They're still and Clarence X. We're gonna get to that as well, right? That these elders and these ancestors lived through us, and we have the ability with technology we should not take for granted because we can, edify their message. We could spread their message to a degree in which they were not able to. So we should not take that for granted. It's a high honor to be in this position, to carry this particular torch, and as well as to add some additional flames to the torch.
Ooh,
You feel
Dr.
me?
Suzo, I forgot about her.
Oh,
Wow, that was one of the first
Ooh.
books I got.
Yeah.
Wow,
Open that up.
Dr. Suzo, shout out.
Dr.
She left the country and never came back.
Dr. Jewel Pulcrum, she has to
Dr.
get
Jewel
shout out.
Fulcrum.
Dr.
Yup.
J, thank you, Blue.
You know what
Dr.
I'm saying?
Sister Rosmariah Bay.
Yo, let me see how sharp y'all. I blue and red. I don't want y'all to
Yapa
answer
Bay.
this. Let me see how sharp y'all. Who says this, by the way? You follow me? Who says that? Let me see how sharp y'all are and how much y'all follow the information. Who's saying is that in the community? You follow me? I want to see how many people say that. But yeah, Dr. Suzar, so many people, man. Wow. I mean, yeah, it's just amazing how many people have came. Oh yeah, see somebody said it already. Yeah, all right, Indigo. Yeah, y'all know. All right, I was just checking. I was just checking, making sure y'all on point. Everybody's on point.
And let's put this in perspective, y'all. Right? Melanated people have a 150-year reading history with a vocabulary that spans 1,500 words. Right? Look what we've been able to do. You know what I'm saying? The field did not technically open up. There was no level, even playing field until the late 60s, early 70s. That's when we were born. So we haven't even been at this thing as a people, being totally out of the cage, unfiltered, reclaiming what's ours and putting these pieces together. This ain't something that we've been at for 200 and 300 years. Them elders just brought that information back about Kemet. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So, and there's still so much more to learn. You feel me? I mean, it's just immense when you really think about it. You know what I mean? When you really think about it, you dig what I'm saying? And we talking about our ancestors and what have you, and this continuous conversation we have in this community about whether we was here, whether we came on boats, and you know, I'm not saying it's a distraction, but 400 years ago means that's 20 generations ago. If you do the math on how many ancestors that you have for 20 generations, it's a million ancestors. So you telling me that you know for sure that every last one of them
Every single one,
indigenous,
huh?
every
All of
single one
them.
was indigenous to this
All of them.
continent, and none of them intermingled, intermixed,
None of them.
none of them commingled,
Not one.
right? None of them ancestors.
Man, nigga.
The colonized ain't touched Nair Nanny,
Hands off everyone.
right? So you must have some hellified information. You must have the anthology of time that you need to break out from underneath the birch tree, wipe the dust off, and just give us the lowdown about what really happened. I need to know how you bury your people. I need to know what your food is. I need to know how you marry. You know, do you fornicate, do a missionary? Like all of these things are integral parts of what culture entails.
Do with
And
that
you just
Scorpio shit. Do
you
with that.
can't be them ancestors in name alone. You got to show us a little bit more. So I'm just saying there's a lot of unnecessary confusion taking place, and nobody's focusing on the colonizer while he's trying to make his way to Mars.
Right.
I want to give a shout out. Somebody said, Brother Rich, there's a big reggae artist in Jamaica called Cableton.
Legal shots.
He was playing your music on his story. But shout out to that brother.
Oh,
Let's
Capleton?
let's
Legal shots.
let's
That's,
see
You know
real
how
that's
big
the
that is?
legend. That's the legend of legends, brother.
Legal.
Phil, whoever wrote this, what song was he playing? Let me know in
Legal.
the chat. Was he what he was playing? I Could Do Magic. Let me know what song he was playing. Let me see something real quick. We at all right, family. We had 91,000 in a month of the video I Could Do Magic.
Run it out.
Run that up.
Run
It's
it
not
out.
even on streaming yet. So when it hits the streaming, we're gonna put it on streaming in February. It's gonna go up big when it's on streaming. It's like only a couple of people in the world have heard this because it's not on streaming right now. It's only you have to be really Kambada don't even have the video on his channel. So you really have to be on Black Magic channel to even know what this video is about, to even have heard of this, unless you know people sharing it like that. So it's gonna my prediction is 1,000,000. It's at 91,000 now, but make sure you share that video. That's
Run that up.
very important. Yeah, that's very important. I even but yeah,
All right.
let me know if Phil, let me know
So,
what I'm trying to
The
let me know what
day
song
will
you
come.
was about to say something, Blue.
can I run through this presentation?
All right, Blue, do it fast.
Um,
I don't. We got a good flow going on, Blue. I don't want to get
all right.
stagnant. So please, yeah, just do
Go,
your
go.
thing. But I
Now
like.
go ahead because I have to, in order to do that, I would have to jump on my computer because you on StreamYard, they don't let the iPad do that for
Oh,
some reason.
it is. I could do magic.
I
Okay.
could do math. Yeah, let's go to
Oh,
Jamaica and tear that down
Yeah, you need to get
on the
Capleton on the
stage.
remix.
Then
I will go
cable
crazy.
tip. Oh my goodness, Panorama. Lord God.
yeah. Definitely. All right, let's hold up. Let me see. So we had 91,000. Make sure y'all run that up.
Yeah, run that red opals up too, like somebody said. Yeah, run that red opals up.
Red, tell them the announcement. January.
Okay. For the family in the building, especially y'all that are in the ATL, we are gonna make it right for you for the New Year's. Why wouldn't we? Based off of what we witnessed and based off of what we went through in New York City, y'all wasn't in Brooklyn, and we didn't even bring it to the live audience, the quote unquote show of the year. I promise you, that was the album release of Holy Ghost #3. That was the album release and the album listening at Alkaline Oasis. That was on December the 16th in New York City and Brooklyn. So on January the 15th, right? A month later on it's the 13th on Monday, we are going to be in Atlanta in the West End. We will be in Atlanta in the West End, and we are going to be doing Melanin Monday. No, it's the 15th. My bad. What am I talking about? January 15th, next Monday. We are going to be at 640 Evans Street, right across the street from Krispy Kreme. It's called a YG Urban Cafe. That is the new home for Melanin Mondays. We are going to have the Holy Ghost. We're going to be listening to some cuts off of the album. We're going to be interviewing Father Rich, right, about his producing the trilogy collection and whatnot, what goes behind the mind of a master producer such as himself. And we will be celebrating 400,000 subscribers. We are going to be talking to the brother Rich about the process of what it takes to be the #1 conscious platform in the world.
That's big. That's big. The #1 conscious platform.
#1 platform in the world. If you are not in Atlanta and you want to be a part of this history, it will be streamed live through Zoom. We're going to have the sound. We're going to have lighting. We're going to have the cameras. It's going to look like a movie. You will feel like you are right there. Come through, be in the building. Limited seating. We could only fit a few hundred people in the building inside of this spot in the West End. So first come, first serve. Make sure you buy your tickets early, because when they sell out, nobody at the door could get in. If the tickets sold out, you can't pay at the door because you're not going to be able to fit. So the link, I believe, is in the description for anybody to RSVP. All it is a dub, right? Which is a dub, $20 at these days. That's a sea moss or a peanut punch at the store. We also have a few slots left for vendors. I have an early bird special for the vendors next Monday on the 15th. Brother Rich at Melanin Mondays IRL, in real life podcast. We outside, okay? We're going to have the vendors in the building. Chef Pablo makes some of the best vegan food that you can ever taste. Blue Pill will be in the kitchen, serving up plates, serving up dinners and whatnot. We have dinners for plant-based people. We have dinner for vegans, and we have dinner for people who eat fish and whatnot. We have wine. We have beverages. We have music. We have new music. We have podcasts, and we have live audience. We have networking and mixing. Pull up, y'all, and be a part of that.
Yeah, I just pinned the link at the top of the chat.
Yes.
Come see me. Come see all of us.
Yes. Come enjoy us.
January 15th. It's going to be a big party. It's going
all
to
the new year.
It's going to be a big party. It's going to be
lit. You know what we do movies when we come together and form Voltron. You know what we do. So be a part of history. 2024. I could do magic, and I'm entitling this. I have a dream. I have a dream, which is a part of I could do magic. Because before I go to bed, I could do magic is what I charge myself and program myself into. And then, like Cat Williams said, give ultimate thanks and praise and be very grateful that you are making it to the next day, because you might not realize it and it's not being said. But if you make it to the next day in this 2024 quote unquote stage that we're on, keep in mind, we're all here for a reason. Because if you were not here for a reason, as you can see every day when you wake up and look on your timeline, you would not be here. Because they are not the way that God is giving it up, the way shit is going these days. If you are not meant to be here, you will not be here. They are removing people. They are not. There's no more placeholders on this planet. So if you're here and it's still 2024 and the cars are driving themselves and they are about to fly, you have reincarnated for a reason and a purpose. If you on this walk with us, then you are walking to find your purpose if you haven't found it already. But if you found your purpose, we are making the clarion call. You got to show up on the top of that mountain because it's game time right now.
Quick message I want to put out there to the people. I'm trying to get in touch with Jude Pukram. Dr. Bashari Wilson, I want to get you on. I've been saying that for a couple of years now. I got you. I gotta call you, my brother. I'm definitely. If I don't call you, please call me next week, my brother. I want to connect with you on the platform. But I'm trying to get in touch with Jude Pukram family. I got Queen of Fool put me on to somebody who's supposed to connect me with her, but for whatever reason, I never got connected to her. So if anybody has contact, what'd you say?
Probably Wanique.
We could ask some people out here
Yeah,
for you. You
yeah,
know,
Okay,
yeah.
pop.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let me know if anybody knows. Let me know if they got contact with you, Dr. Ju Pukram. I definitely want to get her on the platform. Real quick, y'all. I didn't know that this is the symbol of magic in Kemet, Heka.
Hecka.
Hecka.
Yeah.
I've
That's
been
it.
doing some research on Heka and everything because I was talking. Who I was talking to? Queen Aset, Priestess Aset Ra Man. I was talking to her
Ooh,
and a couple other people about the whole Heka thing.
that's a
And
neck tat right there, yo. Look
yeah,
at
yeah.
that.
This I'm running
That's
with
a
this
fire
symbol.
neck tat.
I'm running with this symbol the whole year. I'm on my magic shit. This is my most
Yeah.
magical year.
I
I'm
do magic.
because
That's the
I'm an 8. I'm on my Tahuti 8 shit. I'm a number 8. So
Yeah, that's
I'm
a back
man.
tat, Rich. That's a back tattington.
yeah, no facts. So I'm on my 8 shit this year. So I gotta run with the magic symbol. Yo, you know what I want to ask y'all? Blue, did you switch your computer? Did you do what you
I got an elaborate presentation, and yeah, I can't run through it. You know what I'm saying? So if I don't got like a good 44-minute block to run through my thing, it's not.
um
It's elaborate. I took
Could
most
you
of the
you
day
could
putting.
condense it to 30?
let's do that
Um,
another show. Let's do that another show. That's yeah. I'm on.
you know, I can, but it's very detailed, and I'm hitting on all the points that need to be hit on. Just to just covering what's happened in the first 6 days of January.
Yeah, but Rich, I think the people need that because I got a glimpse of
I,
what he's bringing. Can
Who's
you?
in the chat? Get this nigga out of here. Who's in the chat, man? Get this nigga the fuck out of here. But now,
I know, but yeah, it's probably something we will have to we'll revisit it or something because like I said, I didn't switch my I tried to switch my computer, but my lecture because it's part of another lecture, it's like too
right,
it's too big. Yes, it was too big to airdrop. So
right.
I, yeah,
Um,
Rich,
I'm like I
huh?
thought
somebody was asking
StreamYard
for the
had.
Zoom link.
The Zoom link. It's pinned at the top of the chat, y'all.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
pinned at the
I
top of the
thought
chat.
that StreamYard had screen sharing options to some degree, but I guess it's just not available for for the what you call it for the iPad. But
Um, yeah. Let's do that because I want to take Q&A tonight too. I want to take a
yeah,
couple
so
Q&A.
real
I
quick,
don't
yeah,
want to.
there's some points
So
I want to touch on real quick. Hold on,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
because even I was gonna get to this whole January. Go ahead, Brad.
What I'm saying is on Monday, I'm gonna have you open up on the 15th. You will open up with your slide presentation
I'm gonna
and
be.
give them the points tonight as to what they're gonna get on the 15th. I'm gonna have you open up and you'll do it at this time
I'm
called
going to
Melanin
be
Monday.
in Denver.
Right, right.
Okay, okay. So all right, so get it in.
Yeah. So even what I was explaining about this whole concept of January or Janus, right? You can say that this is not the first month, even if it's the 11th month. The god, quote unquote, Janus, right, is a Roman god, and it means doorways. It means gateways. It's the double-headed god. It looks right and it looks left, but it stands for gates. So what I've been explaining to people about January is a very duplicit month because it is the one month, but it's also the 11th month. So you can read that as 111 or you can read that as 1111, right? Hence the fact that when people seen homie hop over the
Mm,
desk in Las Vegas wearing the Biggie Small shirt,
right.
okay, he everybody spoke about the fact that the time froze on the screen was 1111, right? So again, it matters not as to how you calibrate yourself as to whether this is the beginning or we're running around towards the end of 23. What are you doing in this doorway month? What are you doing in the gateway month? Because
Mm,
this is the month of the Tropic of Capricorn. The Capricorn in all mythologies is called the gate of gods, right? This is when souls ascend. Souls descend during the Tropic of Cancer, right? Hence the fact that when your ancestors was acknowledged during these points and periods of time. So this globe, right? Masonry itself is set up at 47 degrees because it's 23.5 and 23.5. 23.5 is where the parallel intersects on the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. right? This whole country is set up in honor of your ancestors, which are Syrian. If you say that you are who you say that you are, this country literally was laid up to honor your ancestors. And the best that you can do is either shoot fireworks on July 4th or pistols on December 31st, but tell me it's not the new year. I'm like, my nigga, right? You do magic during this time. This is when the gateways are open. This is when I get my best downloads, the crispest thoughts like this, ideas out of this world. So are we plot planning and strategizing, or are we hibernating and resting? Because you can do both, but don't just do nothing and use it as an excuse to just be apathetic towards doing nothing. Because the people that be telling you what month it ain't, they don't got no business going. Because all business owners know, yeah, I need a reset. This is the beginning of the first quarter.
Mm.
So what type of business do you have?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to talk to people who don't have business, quite honestly. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect. And that's not, I ain't taking shots at nobody that, even if you got a 9 to 5, you got business, you pay rent, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got your affairs in order. You paying taxes on something. Like, let's put this thing in perspective. You feel me? Just so we don't get it confused. And when spring comes around, yes, you should be able to smell the roses that you planted in winter. So you should be talking like you got an almanac or something, and you getting ready to plant some seeds in the darkness, because this is dealing with the dark night of the soul. Let me also explain to you how, this is literally the dark night of the soul. And look at the way that they lined it up. Scorpio is a sign that denotes, quote unquote, the underworld, right? They say it's Hades. They say it's hell. They said Diddy's the devil, right? So Scorpions have that particular thing that connects them to Hades. Even in the mythos, when we're speaking about Persephone getting taken into the underworld of Hades, right? You got Hades. Sagittarius is Jupiter, though. Jupiter is Zeus, that's God.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got Capricorn, that's the goat, that's the devil. Then you
Mm-hmm.
got Aquarius, that's heaven, right? That's the kingdom. Then you got Pisces, and you back to the underworld, which is Hades. Okay, so that's the dark night of the soul. The soul stands for SOL, because those are the months that the sun is dead in the underworld, going through alchemical transformations that you're supposed to be mimicking in your anatomy, if you have yet to understand that you are tethered to the sun. So rather than complaining or attempting to convince me what month it is versus what month it isn't, nigga, you should be getting busy, right? Doing the things that's necessary in the darkness to get yourself ready for the light.
Right.
And when the sun comes back out, yeah, then we'll all see each other shining. But don't let the spring come around and you still hibernating. That's when you start getting into your ideation phase. No, that's when you're supposed to get into execution, because it's Aries. That's when you get active. That's when you come outside and get on top of your plans. You know what I'm saying? So there's a science to this. So we have to be mindful that we don't lose the science to the conscious tropes that are non-serving when it comes to really pushing forward and growing this community into what it needs to be.
Definitely well said. And a lot of people who are followers and they hear something and it sounds fly, so they repeat it to sound smart. And next thing you know, you have 10,000 people saying the same thing and it grows momentum. But it's just a lot of people following something that they thought sounded smart. And like I said, I'm not taking a knock on anybody. Who are we to argue about what time it is, what time it really is, when time is illusion in the first place? But I just don't want us to fight about when's the beginning of the new year and this and that. And I think Blue brought up some very great points tonight that I think anybody who hasn't heard it and consider spring the new year, I think we should take into consideration if we are saying that we are descendants of ancient Kemet. So I think
Not only that,
yeah.
if you're saying that you're outside of the matrix, then this ain't 2024 either. So why just throw the day away when the new year become, and the year ain't what the year's supposed to be? This planet been around for millions, if not billions of years. And it damn ain't been around for 2024 years. That's you acknowledge that you part of the Christos mythos and you playing the Jesus game. So then that really gonna put you in a pickle, because then I'm gonna start asking you some questions about who you think you are in that narrative.
Mm.
Mm.
Very, very interesting. Very interesting.
Because Ham means a place in Palestine. So
Powerful, powerful.
them is you people they talking about. And
Um,
look, after Book of Clarence come out, everybody gonna want to be Black Hebrews again.
mm,
Because this time last year, everybody was a Black Hebrew.
Hmm.
Now nobody, now everybody's mystified. What does got to do with me? This baby's dying in Chicago. All right, cool. I get it. But we're
I think,
finally
I
going
think,
to get.
I
We're
think when they
finally,
say that, Blue, I think they're saying let's prioritize what's happening over here first. It's sort of like when they talk about the immigrants and black folks are saying we got to prioritize what's going over. So I don't think they're saying it's not necessarily important, but I think it's about they're
I don't.
prioritizing what's important to them for the people that say that. You know what I'm saying?
Granted, I don't think that they understand the implications. Once again, symbolically of who they're saying that they are when they say that they're them people, because that makes them people.
Right,
At
right.
the end of the day, we never got a visual expression of what quote unquote melanated Jesus or Hebrews look like. You're going to get that after you see this movie. I
Mm,
spoke to people who saw the movie yesterday, so they told me what we in store for.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? They went all the way in. The book of Clarence is Clarence 13. They're speaking about Clarence 13 and Elijah Muhammad in there. They shielded the 5% ideology into a movie
Mm.
mm,
produced by Hove once again.
mm,
You know what I'm saying?
mm,
So it's this joint is gonna go up.
mm.
You feel me?
When does this come out?
January 12th.
January 12th. All
Yeah,
right.
the book of Clarence on Netflix. You
Gotta
know what I
see
mean?
that. January.
Directed, yeah, directed by a Jamaican brother who's with the shits, they say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, homie's all the way in terms of his consciousness. That's what I
Shout out to Jamaica. The Jamaica done came up a couple of times in this conversation.
yeah,
Shout
shout
out
out
to
to
Jamaica.
Hey,
Yo, y'all ever been out there? Y'all ever been to Jamaica?
yeah.
Shout out to Jamaica.
Yeah,
Bombo
man.
clat.
Very good. Good vibe out there, man.
Hey,
I
hey,
haven't been.
amazing
Both of
energy.
my children is from Jamaican mothers, so I definitely been in Jamaica.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My ladies half Jamaican.
Yeah, that's a mystical island,
Yeah.
boys.
Mystical Island.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I wanted to also make note again that what we're looking at and making this observation of in society starting in January, the people who have captured the headlines, kicked in the door, waving the 4-4, whether it is Cat Williams, whether it is
Yes.
Dave Chappelle, or whether it is um Deodra, right? Homie that in the Las Vegas courtroom with the Biggie Smalls sweatshirt on, right? All of them are Virgos. So again, this reiterates my whole concept of this being the Kobe year. Kobe wore the number 8, Kobe wore the number 24, and Kobe wore the number 44, right?
In high school?
He wore 44 Moesha, and when they did the parades, he would always put on number 44 because remember, Jerry West is the logo of the NBA. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So his trophy pictures, he's on parades wearing 44, but he wore the 44 jersey for Crenshaw High School in Moesha. Um, and he wore 33, in his professional high school career in Lower Marion. But nonetheless, bar none, and Mamba mentality, those two M's, 13 plus 13 is 4 plus 4. You know, this individual representing the Mamba, right, or the reptilian in this year of the wood snake, or I mean the wood serpent, right? I think that it's just very refreshing because that diligent approach that he had towards practice, towards competition, 100 hours shooting in the gym. You know what I'm saying? That's the same mentality that we have to go into in whatever field of profession that we want to press the gas on this year because we got to get things complete. Last year was planning and the iteration phase, and you getting your things in order and shaving off. You feel me? Unnecessary weight. And this
Yeah.
is the year of activation. Last year was the year of accountability. This is the
Mm,
year of activation. We saw
mhm,
what accountability looked like last year. A lot of people ducked it and shirked it. And nah, I
mm,
ain't me. Nah, Yeah, they couldn't deal with the light of exposure. They couldn't deal with that. It was too, the aperture was too bright. So they like, nah, cool. I'm cool on that. They couldn't deal with their accountability factors. Now you about to see what the repercussions of that look like for you not willing to be accountable. You know what I'm saying? We're going to see institutions, people, and all sorts of paradigms crash. But then you're going to see other people excel who did the work. It was a lot of heavy lifting last year. For some people, it was very uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Some people got really knocked up, sat down, had to reevaluate life altogether just to make a determination that even though these are twin years, 23 and 24 are two legs of the same, you know what I'm saying, situation. But just like 23 is Michael Jordan and 24 is Kobe, and they mimic one another. I had a whole collage of pictures where they look identical, right? They can mimic each other on the court, but they're still separate individuals. They both going home to two different wives. They both got their whole separate lives. But when they get on that court and it's time for, there is a mirror aspect of them. That's what 23 and 24 is gonna look like. You feel me? But they're gonna be very individualistic, and you know, they're gonna be creatures of their own altogether. But this is a year of accountability, of activation. So
Indeed.
Definitely.
Let me ask you, because you talked about the mama mentality and Kobe's ability to endure so many years in the NBA. I don't know what the span is of a NBA. Oh, hold up.
player, right?
Yeah, but you know, it takes a lot to last long, to last like we see LeBron lasting 18 years in the league, and he's still at his prime. That's amazing. That's on some mama mentality shit.
That's
I want to
next level.
ask y'all, what, even in what we do in the spiritual community, I want to ask you, what do you think allowed you to not only keep your sanity, because we've seen so many people go crazy trying to mess with this spiritual information. It is no effing joke, y'all. This is not a joke. But what makes the pills last so long in this community, the same way Kobe or Jordan was able to last so long playing basketball? Because the lifespan of a teacher is very short. A person's here for a couple of years and they out of here. An interviewer's here for a couple of years and they out of here. Whoever's here,
Right.
they here for a couple of years and they getting the F up out of here. So just like Jordan, just like Kobe, y'all, it's not like y'all fell off. Y'all still doing your thing in your prime. What makes y'all last so long in what y'all do, the same way Kobe and Jordan last so long and what y'all do? Y'all was able to keep your sanity and everything. I'm very, very curious, y'all.
Because we are the pillars. We are the pillars. I don't remember a time there was when we weren't. I didn't come, it wasn't like I came to the community and it was already popping. Like we came and then that's when the community happened. You know, not to say, not to take it away from everything that was going on before that. No, in no way am I saying that in an arrogant way. What I'm saying is me and Blue Pill, and there's letters that we wrote to A.A. Rashid when he was locked up. He has it in his museum. I believe the year was 2002. He framed the two letters where we basically talked about what we're living right now. When you see us in videos and we're in the audience and we're coming from the street and whatnot, and we are students, right? There were days that we were yearning to be acknowledged and to be on the stage with the great ones, to be amongst what we deemed at that time more so than in this time. Because right now in these times, we have to remind ourselves about the greatness of our teachers. But when we were all students and whatnot, our teachers were the greatest things that was ever that a mother ever gave birth to in those days.
Yeah, it's almost like the dichotomy of hip hop, where you cherish the legends so much that I never had plans on rapping because there was no need to. I was comfortable being a fan. I'm like, I'm here to be entertained. Yeah, I got ideas of my own. Yeah, I hear music in my head, but the bar is so high that I'm just like, let them do what they do professionally, and I'm gonna aid and assist the best that I can. it was the same thing with the master teachers, that I was cool being a master student because I was very studious and I had some of the best questions. You know what I'm saying? I didn't envision myself at all times being on the stage. I wanted to go as far as being, a studious student would take me. And then I did my 10,000 hours that was necessary to qualify myself. I didn't open my mouth to speak until 2009, but I was in this thing since 2000,
Right,
2001.
right. But then in 1986, I'm on Flatbush Boulevard. Me and Blue, we on Flatbush Boulevard on the second floor of the loft that's called the Usha Institute. And Dr. Sabi is standing on the stage barefoot, and it's a whole room full of people. We not sitting in no chairs. We not standing up. We're sitting down in lotus style. Everybody got their shoes off. They just chilling. We a sensimania or marijuana is being passed around, joints and whatnot. Salad is being passed around, literature, but this the incense is burning. I'm authentically living in the moment that people just think about. Like we're right there at the feet of the master teacher, Dr. Sabi, right? So it was like this is something that we always wanted to do and see ourselves. Now we're on it. Now there's little children and we're barefoot on the stages and they're right there in front of us. And me and Blue, when we set forward and we said, well, when I saw Blue interviewing Dr. Phil Valentine in 2001, that literally made me want to keep pushing and get out the streets and live for something, because I couldn't understand how my brother, the same dude that I'm like, how did he know?
What was that called? One Up on the Frequency?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. One Up on it. That was the name of the
Yeah. Right. And people, what I have to add is context, and context is back in those days, family, the chances that you had somebody was considered hip hop or young in the same room as the master teachers,
slim
having conversations as if that you could even be on that level. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
it was not heard of.
Yeah. Hip hoppers, or people of our generation and our ilk. I don't want to say that the elders look down on us. It just wasn't looked upon like we had anything to offer, because normally people coming from where we came from couldn't hold the conversations, or they felt that you could not filter this information enough where you would have a question that would actually be worth their while, if you would.
Right.
Shout out to my brother Black Dot if he's in the building, because by far he has the lengthier resume in regards to being in these audiences, being in front of these teachers. And I know that when I met Dot, I had a dream, and I dared to dream beyond the borders of my imagination. So now I see that I'm living in my dream. Hence the fact that my name is the Blue Pill, because I'm living in my dream. So my dream in 2001, when I heard Valentine say, "Yo, I want to hang it up because this ain't gonna work. There's nobody in this, auditorium. There's nobody in this class under the age of 40. Who's gonna take this information to the?" I was like, I am. I'm under 40. Like I could bring it to hip hop. I could bring it to my generation. I could make it look fresh. You know what I'm saying? And then I was honored and blessed to meet the brother Black Dot. You know what I mean? And we had a mutual love and appreciation for the genre. And he did what he had to do to put it together in terms of the structure and the organization to bring about the metaphysical underground. My foray was to go back into journalism, into Four Corners, and interact with hip hop, because the master teachers always told us, don't hurt yourself attempting to bring this information to 1 million people. Find you one person that has influence over 1 million people, and allow that person to be the beacon of light that puts the signal out. So I was Morpheus looking for Neo in the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? In these different avenues that I went, but I also had a love for hip hop journalism that I had to pursue, and I had to figure all of this stuff out at the same time, while exercising everything that I'm learning in real time in these courtrooms, utilizing this moral science to save my life. So my
Right.
appreciation for it is that I know that it's real, and our ability to be studious, to be students, makes us receptive to receive new information. So that's what keeps us current and up to date, is because we knew that when we got involved with it, it was to the death, to the light. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Until you have no ounce of life left. Like Sabi did it to the end. De Gregory did it to the end. You know what I'm saying? All of the master teachers did it to the end. You don't
Do
retire
it
from
to the,
this.
yeah, you don't retire from this. You do this till the wheels fall off.
Mhm.
So
And
Mhm.
we
then
literally,
right.
Blue, let
And
me talk. Let me talk. We're literally living out our second life. You know what I mean? There was a life that was already lived prior to this from both me and Blue. You know what I'm talking about? We already experienced what a lot of people haven't experienced in their first life. So, as with Dr. Sabi's story, he got consciousness really when he was in his 40s, and then he
Mhm.
lived out his second life, right? But the seeds that he planted in his first life, they began to blossom throughout the life cycle of his second life. So, me and Blue are getting to see people throughout our first life cycle. They're blossoming, Rich. There are people in power right now, and they're waking up. The awakening, the greatest thing that keeps us, to put it in short, that keeps me coming back. One is, as a Scorpio, every winter I die and renew myself, right? Every winter I die, I renew myself. I always replenish, and I put myself in a cave. I put myself in this dark night of the soul and whatnot. And we are able to regenerate ourselves. That's one of our superpowers, right? But that washing, that cycle is able to be spun by the likes of your consistency, Black Dot's consistency, Red and Blue Pills consistency, KT, everybody that kept going and running in this marathon and whatnot. That's what's keeping us vibrant and younger. We're aging backwards and whatnot. Look at what the arch degree to the twin pillars is doing. Look at what KT the arch degree is doing. So we've always stood tall, and the light has shined through us.
Facts.
That's what we
Facts.
represent. The twin pillars on a portico. And through Know the Ledge Radio, through our digital convergence with Sonetta TV, Black Magic 101, 102, House of Consciousness, UGR, Black Magic 363, Baba TV, Kia Life Productions, and many other platforms that
Yo,
we converged with.
is
Yeah.
Baba still around? Baba
Yes, he is
TV?
still around. He's
Dope.
doing good content. Yeah. He
Dope.
just hooked me up with a brother who's doing a fatherhood program.
Oh, excellent.
And yes, you'll be surprised. Yo, the brother Melchizedek, the super legend
Oh, Melchizedek.
who told his life story in that podcast. Melchizedek was locked up for a body. He was a hitter. Yeah.
he
For
was
the
a
for the
he was a bank robber. He was they robbed drug dealers. They tied up and kidnapped.
Right, tied them up. He was like, "Yo, when I
In the
come for the
50s.
bread, if you don't got it, I'm the person that they call to knock you off," type
We're
shit.
talking in the 50s, yeah.
And at 50, right,
Bumpy,
hardcore,
yeah.
bumpy era.
Wow.
And he got Islam behind the wall, and what he received in the writings of Elijah Muhammad with those newspapers. And that story, I bring that up because that's happening 100x right now in real time behind the walls. One, they have phones. They never had phones before. The phones for people that are doing life is tapping them into a world that they never knew existed, that exists online in the matrix, that is a repository of light. So people behind the wall, it don't matter how much time they got, they are waking up at alarming rates. Now, when you have people who are behind the wall that have time on their hands in a day and time where you could become more wealthier and more healthier with the more what time on your hands that you have, right? That which used to be a negative is now a positive, because there are people who are doing day trading, they are doing forex trading, they got mad bitcoins, they selling NFTs, they got podcasts, they making content, and they got faceless channels, and every one of them is sitting behind the wall doing time. And there's people learning mad stuff right now because they got time and they got phones and they got tablets and they you know what I mean? It's but so much you could watch with the short eyes and whatnot. And the wild card, you got about three or four of the master teachers, right? Who teach a darker magic, right? Even though they teach a darker, because the underworld is the underworld. It's going to take a certain teacher to teach them, but they got master teachers in their system right now. Guess what's going to happen to the millions of the people that are the living dead? That's the mycelium network. That's the quote unquote underworld, right? That's the living dead. They buried alive and whatnot. But they got the teachings of mad teachers. Shout out to Natural Tahuti,
Yeah.
right?
Hey, I'm sharing the link in the chat. If you would like to come on and kick it with us real quick, we probably got about 30 minutes left on the topic of mama mentality and your purpose, or you if you have a question about pursuing your purpose, to red and blue pill. Because a lot of y'all are confused about how to find your purpose in the first place, and I think that this would be a perfect opportunity to get some help from somebody who, two individuals who obviously tap fully into their purpose and stuck with it.
If
So
you get it,
if
yeah.
you would like to be on the chat, I just posted the link in the chat. Click on it real quick. I want to kick it with y'all for a little while before we get out of here. I want to ask y'all because I seen y'all dropping some names in the chat. Some of these people I don't know. I see some of y'all trolling, telling me to mention somebody's name. But I do want to ask y'all, red and blue, your opinion. This is 2024. If we're talking moving forward spiritually, um, one of the master teachers whose information is still prevalent all over the internet is Malachi Z. York. I never got much into his information in my beginning stages of consciousness, but later on, I would hear about him and I would read things about him, about some of the information. And I was like, Brother Polite will put some of his information out there. Rod Hayes information. He talks a lot about Dr. Malachi Z. York. What's your thoughts on his information, considering the charges that was against them, and considering, I mean, King Simon was in the community. King Simon was like, that shit got crazy for a second. How do you feel about studying information from somebody with such crazy charges against them and accusations from people in the community?
All right. So a minute ago, I was talking about some of the people that are buried alive and the impact of what consciousness would do to people who are buried alive, who were considered to be, in Hiram Abiff, right?
Right.
So I speak from experience because the year was 1999. I was in what is called shock. It's a military program that works with Department of Corrections, where they put you in basically boot camp.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have no access to the outside world whatsoever. When I'm talking about whatsoever, no newspapers. We only had one phone call every 2 weeks and whatnot. No newspapers. We could get letters though. Blue used to write me rhymes and whatnot from the hottest rap songs that was out. That's the way I knew how the songs was, because he would have to write the lyrics, right? Make a long story short, somebody had the holy tablets and we were doing a bid with the holy tablets. I would have people stand outside. We would be doing cleanup and whatnot, because they keep you busy from 4 a.m. when you wake up doing push-ups and PT and whatnot, all the way to 9 p.m. when you go to sleep. So sometimes we would have to, from the moonlight and whatnot, sneak and read pages. The Holy Tablets, a book that was authored by Malachi Z. York, right? Which was almost like a Bible. This book single-handedly took me into a world. Keep in mind, this is the year 99, and I went into 2000. When I come home, the towers fall, right? I come home August 28th. Aaliyah dies right before I come home. I come home August 28th. I see Blue Pill do a demonstration with the Moorish thing and stand up and take the head of a judge on September the 10th. I go
Yeah,
to sleep the next week, 9/11. So my whole world shifted, huh?
the next day.
The next day, my whole world, everything shifted in ways that you have no idea. Then I went and seen Dr. Valentine live do the lecture where he just talked about on Black Dot Show right after 9/11, where he really solidified that he was the master teacher, and his information and Bobby's information, it pushed past the older quote unquote school of classical teachers and whatnot, and the level of information, the ceiling that they built, the ceiling that was on their information, they broke through that ceiling and created a whole new paradigm. And in that paradigm, we have the psychonauts in front of you right now who are able to think so huge and so wide and so big that every point of the galaxy, this information and this consciousness and this light has touched it. You dig? Facts. But it was not done on our own vote. It's directly the work of Bobby, Phil, Delbert, Sabi, Hakeem Bey, Taj Tariq Bey, C. Freemanel, Brother Azazel, Dawood. You can't leave a name out because it was like Netflix for us. But DVDs and VHS tapes and whatnot, but it was Netflix. We were binging, we were drowning in the information, and it was feeding us. Every single person on this planet is living in the dreams of all of these lectures that we was telling y'all about. Facts. I wake up every day. I would be it would be remiss of anybody if I were to say anything is wrong with me or my day. If somebody would ask, "Yo, Red, how's your day?" Awesome and beautiful.
Facts.
I am so grateful. I am so thankful. I am so, these rabbit hairs in my pocket are so electric.
Woo! Nigga
I
said
can
the
do
rabbit
so
ears
much
is
magic.
electric.
Right. They are so ultramagnetic. Right. I am so charged up. Okay. I'm here. I'm witnessing this thing. And somebody is allowing me to be here and be a shining example of what this shit is to
Let
be
me
God
hear
on
what
this
Blue Hat
planet.
got to say, because I want to get to a couple of callers before we get out of here. Go ahead, Blue.
Yeah, he talking that good gratitude. You know
Oh
what I'm saying?
yeah. Oh yeah.
I
Oh
am
yeah.
unapologetically, optimistically, and gratitude at any and all times for the opportunity to be here and for all of the blessings that have been bestowed upon me by great Creator. Now, in regards to our brother, Dr. Malachi Z. York, like Red, I kind of confronted this information full fledged when I was incarcerated, and I saw what it meant to other individuals who did not have. This was, and we talking about, dinosaurs, you know what I'm saying? New York predicates and things of that nature. We was out of town, so they was getting busy. They was getting it in. They had high respect on the compound, and they would have them pamphlets. You know what I'm saying? They would have them tablets in their back pocket. And I'm on the gate with the God bodies, but the God bodies don't pump with the dudes that's now Ubian, and they don't deal with the out. So I was the go between. I kicked it with everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I studied the information. I love the transliteration. I love when he was just being practical and dealing with transliteration of scripture. It gave me a lot of cloth. It gave me a lot to work with, and it allowed me to ask myself a lot of these questions and dig deeper. Um, I didn't get too much into the additional information, and when things started transiting and moving in other directions, you know what I'm saying, I didn't follow. So I wouldn't necessarily be an expert.
Okay.
I'm the one who I used to go to Polite's class in 2007 when he was teaching meditation on Saturdays using tones. And I'm telling you,
They was dope. They was
bro,
dope.
Man,
I
I
seen the
never.
room turn into like we was moving. It's hard to explain, but them tones, right? Bar none, we can say that brother brought some unprecedented truth that is very hard to mount counter arguments to because it's demonstratable. You know what I'm saying? And he has also from his vine, you know what I mean? A lot of people have come from that are geniuses. So I can only look at the information and say, there was a level of efficacy to it that, has to be acknowledged. I will say this, and I have to say this.
Wow.
You know, I do not prescribe to a cosmological genealogy that comes from me being genetically created in a lab and my ancestors coming here as slaves to mine for gold. I think that those individuals are dealing with a mistranslation of the text, and they are riding on the coattails of Zachariah Sitchin, right? And you have to understand the anthropo I'm losing the word, but the same shit David Icke was doing. Their inability to see melanated excellence in any spectrum or give it to us where we deserve it. Pause. They're always gonna prescribe it to 7-foot Nordic white aliens with blue eyes, and I don't subscribe to that paradigm. So with that, I would say, my brothers and my sisters, respectfully, we got to dig a little bit deeper. Our brother AA has amazing compendium of work that deals with the actual translation of Sumerian texts and Akkadian texts. I would recommend that we go and see that so we can extract the stuff for what it's really for instead of getting caught up in the fantastical aspects of it, dealing with these space alien shits. That's all I'm saying.
All right, let's get to the first call. I'm gonna take a couple of calls, then we're gonna get out of here, family. Very interesting to hear what y'all got to say. We start 2020 off with this Mamba energy.
Big
Damn, I
Mamba.
wish I had that flyer Blue made to share with y'all. But
Big
I
Mamba.
got it in the text. I'm gonna show it before we get out of here. Let's start with Elizabeth. Elizabeth had not.
Peace.
Peace,
Greetings.
sis.
Yes, you said it right, Brother Rich. First of all, yes,
Yes.
had not. That's me. And you said it right. Thank you. Some people jack up my last name, and I'll be like, man, it's only 2 words. It's real simple. Had not. First of all, Brother Rich, I like to just say thank you, for just having this platform for us. And Red and Blue Pill, you guys are all amazing. This is I'm just now tapping into this consciousness
Excellent.
from the God Power first one, God Power 2.
Woo.
Brother Rich, I watch all of your stuff. I go back and listen to it over and over again, sometimes because it's new to me. And what I'm learning with myself is that I've learned so much. Now I have to unlearn what I learned to learn some new stuff that's going to benefit me. So my question is, and when I say that I'm new into this, sometimes I just get chills on me when I just hear, you guys speak of this just different consciousness and being aware and stuff is happening. And it's like, ooh, I want to be there. I want to see that. And I know that there's a process, there's steps to this. What can you share with me or tell me beginning of this year? Like you said, we're already 6 days in here, and I'm already there's already so much that's happening that's distraction. And for me, with the everything, just everything, not just the Cat Williams stuff, but just everything, from just everything. How can I? What advice could you give me to like really keep my state of focus, not miss out on what I need to get from the conscious world because I'm thirsty for it. I'm like a pit bull right now. Like
I
I'm
feel
thirsty for the knowledge, the
yeah.
knowing,
That
not
flame
only
is
to help
yeah.
myself, but to be able to help my children, to be able to help my grandchildren. We're talking generational here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really sure my parents would really benefit from it because they're so set in their ways, but I'm not giving up hope on them either. But I know I guess it's like your family has to see it happen within you before they can say, mom, she's on to
Definitely.
something.
Definitely. That's where it
So
starts.
that's kind of like why I
Yeah.
want to pop in.
You have a voracious appetite,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And you want to learn because you're saying that you're quote unquote late blooming in terms of getting onto this information. You want to get it for yourself, and then you want to be able to maximize it to a degree where you're able to help others. And then in the midst of you helping, other people are going to observe you helping and be like, yo, what you got going over there? And then they're going to start inquiring and asking questions. So you want to be a fulcrum for change, right? In your own personal life, in your own community. I would say, today, write out the things that you want to change about your life, right? Because you can only be honest with you. And these things don't have to be radical change. I explain to people everything don't have to be 180-degree change. 1 degree of change
Right.
qualifies as a change. So you could just be looking to do something slightly better. Like, I normally wake up at 9 to get my day started. I just now want to wake up at 8 because I have extra time to study or extra time to get this out the way. So when study time does come, I won't necessarily feel that crunch because I know how it feels. You like, I don't have enough time now to do the things that I really now am interested in doing because I have found this reservoir of information and I just want to dive in. I would say don't dive in necessarily. You know what I'm saying? Put your toe in the water and see how the water feels. You feel me? Then put the foot in and then start with the calf and then slip the leg in. Right? You want to get comfortable with this space. You don't want to jump in deep and find out that the water goes a little bit more steeper than you're prepared for. Right?
Right.
Because, yeah, we
Right.
don't want nobody to drown in this stuff because, the information highway is a deluge. There's
Right.
so much stuff. So you have to find out what Aquarius Maximus said, the pursuit of your passions. What is the things that you think that you want to change? And then what are the things that you want to do? Those are two different things.
Right.
Right? Because it's like, all right, I might be looking to change these things over here because I want to do these things, but I can't jump into the things I want to do until I address the things I need to change. Right? Like, hey,
Right.
I wanna lift 5 plates. Right?
Right.
I know that even though that's what I want to do, I have to train for that. So now I have to create a regimen to get me to that place. I have to create a realistic goal for myself to say 6 months from now, showtime.
Okay.
So now that creates anticipation for me, gives me something to look towards to. Now I could measure it. You feel me? I could gauge
Okay.
it, and I can allow myself to make changes where it's needed to. And I was writing that in my presentation, the importance, right? I had the architecture of allowance, the art of allowing.
Allowing. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Dr. B Serious, go back and continuously watch Dr. B. I think Dr. B
Yes.
is mandatory for people that are initially coming in that have
Right.
been at a space in their life where, that they put a lot of miles on the car and now they need to unlearn and relearn. I think Dr. B is amazing for that. You know what I'm saying? He has that amazing conversational language that can get you, that understanding that you need. But allow yourself to take time because don't feel the pressure and the crunch of time because you feel like, oh, I started too late. Allow yourself, allow the universe to work with you. Speak to the universe and give it to permission to handle you in the way in which will be best for you, best for your transformational process. Because people is watching, and I don't mean that your stuff has to be sanitized.
Hmm.
They could watch you slobber and they could watch you fall. You feel me? And stumble. That's part of the process. They need to see you through the whole process, not just
Right.
not just the cute stuff.
Right. Right.
Wow. Well, I truly appreciate it. Thank you again, Brother Rich. Like I said, you're doing amazing things for the community. Red pill, blue pill. I truly appreciate you guys. You guys just become like y'all so real. I told my daughter one day, I was like, it's these brothers that I be watching. I said, man, if I ain't never heard some real stuff come out their mouth, this stuff been really real. So I truly appreciate
Thank you.
you guys and thank you guys
Appreciate
so
you.
much. Bless.
Where you live at?
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
I'm here I currently live in Douglasville, but I've been on the West Coast in Sacramento, helping my senior.
Okay.
Right. I would love to meet you on the 15th and coming out, when we do the live show, because there's some things that I'll talk to you about in private about, what we were just talking about that I want to share with you. You know what I mean? Everything is going to be
Absolutely.
good. You represent millions in your early phase. I think we should have color
Thank
coded.
you.
I think we should have color coded consciousness where people who are just starting out have an orientation so they know, yo, this is green and this is red, because you sometimes are getting you're getting consciousness, like Blue said, through a deluge, not filtered,
Yeah.
it's not strained, it's poured on you. This channel will take you through. This channel it's deep, right? Like if you step deep into the waters, you can go into a ever never ending quote unquote stream of content, but you don't have time for that. So Don't give up what you have to do in order to tap into something that you may think that you're missing, because that could become crazy. And you have to practice the art of discernment, because you could be listening to 100 false prophets.
Yeah, yeah. And I just want to add on real quick before you get out of here, sister. I feel and understand exactly where you're coming from. There's things that I used to do 18 years ago when I first got into spirituality that I stopped doing because I got so much information. There was just so much information. You always moving on and moving on and moving on. And then in the year 2019, I finally picked back up on what I did in probably '04, and that changed me and took me to the next level. And I was like, why did I ever stop doing this? Then I was like, because I was so overloaded with so much other shit that I
Right.
thought every time you read something new, you think it's more advanced because it's new. That don't mean the old stuff is less advanced just because you read or hear something or read something new. When you tap into your magic, you're feeling inside, and don't give up on it because you have quote unquote new information. It took me years to get back something that I was doing, something personal in my personal ritual. So I just want to add that. But yeah, right.
And journal, journal,
Journal.
journal. If you are artist, draw, draw, draw. If I could go back and have 8 notebooks from my first 3 years of my awakening, gold. That's why they say data is gold. They know that, but do you know that? Data is gold. Your earlier writings, your earlier reflections, you have to be able to have a point of reference. So you have to go back to it. So you gotta journal it. Take it from, look how both all three of us, right? Look, let's hit it with the nod. We all know it's all about creation. What do you create on the journey? That's when you go back and you sit down and you're able to slow down and you look back. That's the stuff that's gonna matter. Rich has he has a library, an archive of thousands of clips and content that's all like bars of gold. Me and Blue have the same thing, right? So you want to create content. Times like this where Cat Williams is have you excited, create content, tape it, film yourself. You don't have to put it on YouTube. YouTube is not the end all be all, but create this content of your time of blossoming and transformation. You will thank yourself 10 years from now.
Correct. All right. Thank you so much, sis.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Peace.
Appreciate it.
All right. Let's keep it moving. We got to get out of here soon. Let's get to Yvonne Lewis. You all up in the camera, man. Back up, Yvonne. You all up in the camera. What's up? You got beef? What's up?
Hey, Yvonne. You on mute. We can't
Oh, we
hear
can't
you.
hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you, sis. No, we
Hey,
can't.
Yvonne.
No, can't hear you.
Sis can't hear you. Oh
Oh,
man, I really want to hear sis too, man.
man, Yvonne. Come on. You got.
It's no,
It's the
can't hear
unmute.
you. You got to
Ah,
figure it out.
man.
Her mic is not muted.
Yeah, it's open, but we don't hear you. It's not coming
Yeah.
through.
Yvonne, go out and come back in.
Yeah.
Go out and come back in. All right. Let me get to somebody else real quick. Sydney Sanders. What's going
All
on?
right.
Brother?
Peace to the gods.
Hey,
Peace,
hey.
God.
Peace,
Chill
peace,
with you.
peace.
All right.
Cool,
Peace.
man. What's good?
I had to put the shades on just to resonate with the twin pillars just for the day.
That's right. That's right. That's the
Say,
twin pillar effect.
you know what I mean? First, I just want to give gratitude to the Holy Trifecta right here. Just all y'all work y'all do. I definitely resonate. Also want to give an introduction to Blue. We haven't seen face to face, but the developer that works right under Hugh.
Hey, Sid. What's good?
Yeah. So just want to just make the introduction
Yes,
here.
indeed. Yes, indeed.
Had to tap in.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, most definitely. I don't want to, take too much time. First, just want to tap in. Just I did miss a portion though, because you spoke about how winter is the time for reflection. And I hate for y'all to repeat yourself.
Nah, it's all good.
Right.
Again, I was speaking about what the sign of Janus actually means, and also take that as because there's so many things that's right in front of us while they try to sell us, all of these lemons in society. They tell us that we live in a monotheistic, society where there's one God. I'm like, there's 7 gods. They're called days of the week. You know what I'm saying? And then all of them different months that they have, you know, all of the months that they got named, majority of them are gods. So Janus is a god that's part of the pantheon of Roman gods. It's a two-headed god, and it stands for doors and gateways, right? And one looks to the past and the other looks to the future, right? So 11 or 1 or January is that junction point where you get to either the end of the year or the beginning of the year where you do necessary self-reflection. For those that are observing astrological years, meaning that the new year begins in March, right? Then they are going over the notes like, all right, well, what did I start this year and where am I at with it? You know, you deal with projects, so you know how you map projects out, right? You have phase 1, you have phase 2, you got to revise and revisit and things of that nature, right? Now, for those that are in their first fiscal year in their fiscal year dealing with this as a first quarter, you already have certain plans that may be implemented, or you are tweaking, you know, your first quarter plans for rollout either during the end of the first quarter or the beginning of the second, you know, when the light comes on. It's the same thing. If we were farmers, we would be putting seeds in the ground, right? If we were having children, we would be inseminating the womb with our seed. And in 90 days, in 9 months or 270 days, then that seed sees the light. Was that seed alive? Was it germinating? Was it living? That's a whole conversation that the Supreme Court has to deal with. In my ideology, yes, it was. And it's the same thing about ideas. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing about your intentions. You know, when you set it, it's in motion. Now, how it manifests itself depends on how you're going to water it, how you're going to micromanage this idea of yours and bring it to full term. So that's what this is about, circling the track. That's the only thing that this year represents. It's a cycle. You got to circle the cycle. You feel me? Some people trip up at the finish line, and some people go Shakari Richardson.
Let me add on. In the winter months, the reason why animals hibernate is because the winter is not time for popping out. The winter is not time for exerting yourself. The winter is not time to even really be seen. The winter is not time to be in front of the camera. The winter is the time to fall back and break yourself down in order to build yourself back. The winter is time for reconstruction. The winter time is the time that the quote unquote trees die. Everything always comes back though. No worries, because the cycle of life is always absolute. So, but the trees have to rest. They have to die off. The flowers and everything have to die off, but it's not necessarily a die off. It is what is known as the cycle of life. Nothing ever really dies, right? It always regentrifies. It's always given regentrification. So Scorpio in the first beginning months and that Jason, that November, that end and whatnot, in the beginning months of winter, right? Because winter, you know what I mean? We are about what? The cycle of life and death, not just sex and whatnot. Scorpio is life and death, which is a constant cycle. So we are understand the mysteries of life, but we also understand the mysteries of death. We don't approach death, nor do we look at death, nor do we feel death the same way of any other human being on this planet. You dig what I'm saying? They say that we are morbid and whatnot, but nah, we understand that this is a cycle. You know what I mean? You know, you got to have intercourse in order for life to bring forth. But intercourse is not only physical life, it's also ideas. So in wintertime, man is told to preserve himself. You don't want to be, once again, non-exertion. So you want to build up and retain your chi and your energy and your light, and you want to deal with breathing. You want to deal with all kind of discipline. You want to basically pop out in the spring as a new a whole new different person, regenerated,
new sun,
a new sun, right?
Right.
Blossoming like a flower. Henceforth, spring is when you spring forward. So let's participate in this ritual or this quote unquote ceremony together. It's simple. Winter.
Hey, thanks for the question, Sydney. I appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, bless.
Peace, my brother.
Bless up.
Let's keep it moving. We got King Simon. Then let's see Yvonne. King, I'm gonna get to you last. Let me see Yvonne.
I'm back.
Yes, in the building. The
You better be
legend,
ready.
the
You better be
legend.
ready this time. What's up, sis? What's up, sis? Good to see you. All right. What's going
Good
on?
to see all of you. It was
All
so
right.
funny because I knew you were about to pick me, and that's why I was so close to the phone like that.
Okay.
I felt
Right.
it. And
Hey,
also, I was FaceTiming somebody, so perfect timing.
yeah.
That's why.
How
Um,
you doing? Happy New Year. How you doing?
Happy New Year, you
Yeah.
That
guys.
part.
My phone camera's being weird, so I don't know why I'm not. Oh, there we go.
Yes.
I just want to say gratitude to you guys, all the work you're doing, everything, just the community and helping being clear lights, being those pillars of light and of love out here in the sea of darkness. So gratitude.
Thank you.
No, you know what I
Yeah.
want to say, Yvonne?
Mm.
That every rising I'm able to wake up smiling the same way that you smiling with that fireplace behind you,
Yeah.
legend. Because people like Cat William and these other celebrities, they're what we call spiritual notification centers.
Right.
Meaning that when you go and get a notary republic and they stamp something that you say because they're the stamp, and when they hit it, it makes everything that you say certified and solidified. The things that Kanye said the other week, the things that Kat is saying this week, the thing that somebody else is going to say next week, all it's doing is giving a stamp, like the same notary republic stamp, a seal of approval to what you've been standing on, what Blue been standing on, what Rich been standing on, what I've been standing on business.
Right.
So I'm just grateful that our work, and I got to give honor and praise to the godfather of this whole thing, Professor Griff.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Not to take anything away from anybody.
Right.
But every single thing that people is acting like, yo, did you hear that? Guess who brought that to the thing? But please continue.
Yeah.
And thank you.
It's just funny what you said, because I basically I wanted to put a stamp on what you guys were saying, because I'm out here, I'm living my best life, and I may not always know what I'm doing, but as far as my purpose, just showing up every single day as present as I can be, praying as often as I can, asking for support as much as I can. I feel like I'm in my purpose. I never feel like, oh, what is it I'm supposed to be going out and doing? Because when I show up 100% and I'm getting feedback and I get gifts handed to me and I get this and I go places and everything's gravy, I know that I'm in my purpose. So I think sometimes like looking for stuff, and I was listening to Q Reeves just like earlier today, and he was talking about how you being is the purpose. So that too, just being, but really being fully you is part of our purpose. You never know if your purpose was just to raise your dog, raise your children. You don't know what purpose is. It doesn't have to be a grand mission. Like y'all are out here doing it, but I want to encourage people just doing little things, because all of us are on purpose.
Man, you got a wonderful energy about you.
I know.
Whoa.
It made me want to share too. So can I share?
Whoa.
Please.
Okay, so Spirit is telling me to say that when you speak about purpose with the Great Reset and where we're going into in this new quote unquote era, what this really is about is that we're not only in the age of experience, but we're in the age of purpose. And in the age of purpose, what we're seeing and what's being shown to us, even with these babies losing their lives at the snap of a fingers, is that you have to experience everything that you came down here to experience. Nobody owns anybody's body. Nobody owns anybody's life. Nobody owns anybody's quote unquote direction. You have to be able to follow experience. You have to be able to follow the fact that your spirit came here to live its life. Do not put the restrictions of the old world. That's why people are breaking up. That's why people are having breakthroughs. That's why people are breaking down. That's why people are breaking away, because there's a breakthrough that is taking place because the old program is breaking down. It is falling apart. And with that old program that's falling apart is the Disney spell. Disney is about to be the next thing that's going to fall in this pillar and whatnot. And with that goes the spell. The shiny suit theory spell fell, right? The Benjamins, all about the Benjamins, money over spirituality and whatnot, money over the 5%ers and Father Allah on them. you know, the cross over, you know what I mean, Christianity over Islam and whatnot. All of these representatives, we're seeing a pole shift, right? So the fact that you're seeing people not wake up, not make it to the next day, and some of them may have not lived out their true purpose or fulfilled their life because they were stuck in that old paradigm that said, nah, fam, you can't necessarily enjoy your life because, you know, you're married.
Right.
So you blocked 1,000 years of experience because you going by what Ellen DeGeneres told you to do, or what Steve Harvey said that y'all read it, think like a woman and act like a man or something. You know, I'm just saying that there's a lot of programming that has to be re-examined because a lot of that programming is steering a lot of people's consciousness. But as we move closer into the truth, things are beginning to fall apart.
Yeah.
And if you really said that you're here as a spiritual being, have a human experience, well, in the Kali Yuga, they're making all experience available for your ass to have. So think about it. 12-year-olds are experiencing the world, everything, everywhere, all at once, in ways that 30-year-old people don't even know the world exists in. They're going through wormholes and having experiences in all kind of worlds at like 8 right now. How about that?
Yeah.
Indeed. Blue, you want to add on before the sister leave? Blue, anything to add on, or you good?
I think that was an amazing summary with you. I would tell you by any and all means, you know, maintain your peace, protect your peace. You know, you have it and you exude it. Know that that's a value, a treasure that you can't put a price tag on, and value it to that degree that you protect it, and just don't let it accessible to any and everybody, because you have something that money can't buy.
Thank you. Heard. And that's why I'm home with just my animals right now. So
all right. Well,
thank you guys.
Thanks for calling. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right.
Peace.
Let's get to we're gonna get to King Simon, then we're gonna get out of here.
Yes.
King, what's up?
Real quick, I want to. There was a little discrepancy, a glitch on a link with the checkout thing, and I fixed it, letting everybody know. And I fixed that for everybody. But go ahead.
That's the original.
Yes, he got that work. Yeah, the original.
Okay. Yes, sir. From
his own density together.
From him himself, from the man himself. Happy New Year. Happy New You. Happy fiscal year. Happy all of that.
Peace to the legend, King Simon. Peace to the legend.
I'm definitely coming through on the 15th, so make sure I'm on that super list.
You want to host it? You want to be the co-host?
I could be a part. No problem.
Yeah, you can be the co-host for that night. I need your energy.
So, man, yo, woo, hey, man, everybody talking about purpose, man. This year has started off as far as what we're in, this frequency band has started off an interesting way. You know, Blue and I was talking about finding the 44 in this year. We found it. And a lot of people do not just jump into the 8 frequency. Look at that 44 this year, because, you know, in my book, New Motivation for Mental Stability, we talk about 4 is one of the main mental hubs. Yes. And you have to protect your mind. Got to protect your mind.
That's what's being attacked.
Exactly. Because remember, just the word media, movie, and all of these, anything that begins with an M. Remember, that's the letter 4 in numerology in the Pythagorean and the Chaldean system. So they're going to attack you with movie, media, and music. Heavy. All the M's.
Yeah, murder.
And that's 444 alone, just those 3.
And machines too.
Exactly. Machines. And I'm glad for people talking about finding their purpose, but you know, in the Pythagorean system, which he accommodated for himself after studying with us, it adds up to a number 11. And 11, it tells you that they got to dig deep within for them to realize that the purpose is already on the runway. It's already there, because 11 represents the runway. It represents the equilibrium between the physical and the spiritual realm. It's just that people are not digging as deep as they should, or not realizing that they're already in their purpose. Sometimes, even if you're just a bum on the street, that was your purpose. Go ahead, brother.
Let me ask you something.
That's cool.
is destiny number correlated with somebody's pursuit for their purpose? Can they find their purpose in their quote unquote destiny?
Because destiny has been interchangeable in numerology between life path and destiny. You know what I'm saying? But in the name, when you're looking at name, that's where you find the destiny according to the language, according to the jargon. But the destiny, a lot of people like to say, "Oh, yo, I'm looking for my destiny. I'm looking for my destiny." But if you don't find the love with what you gravitate to, how many of y'all watched the movie Shogun Assassin? And what he did with with his child. He put the ball and he put the sword on the floor. Mm-hmm. And he said, whichever one he gravitate to, either he's going to go out with the ball. The colorful ball means he goes to his mother. The sword that he gravitated to, that means he comes with the father. Mm-hmm. You got to be able to put those two balls in front, because sometimes our children already know their destiny. That's is that they can get sidetracked off of the walk, off of the travel, because of what's going on. You know, so it's very important. And then the word purpose means equals a number 3 in the Chaldean system. And 3, after that spiritual deep awareness of that 11, that 3 is reminding you need to express it. Is expressing it going to be easy? No, it's not going to be easy. But at least, like Dr. B. Sirius said, you got to allow it to come to you and then become the I am and what you allow.
And Cat in the Hat showed you in living color what that looks like. Exactly. You might have to sit down and sip on some spirits, right? And have real talk, and have an unbiased person across from you do what? Ask the right questions.
What's so funny about that? Remember, Cat was talking about what he went through in his early parts of his life,
and he was telling his story is important. Why? Because nobody can tell your story like you can. Right. And what's the most important story? The story never told.
Never told. And right. What's so funny? He's born September the 2nd, Virgo, right? Virgo energy. His alignment number is an 11. So all that brilliant stuff that he was talking about, I can tell that's what he went through. It's just like watching Terrence Howard work right now. 1 times 1 cannot equal 1.
Right.
It's been programmed to say it's 1, but he's a master number 11 also. Taraji P. Henderson, born on September the 11th. Another master number coming out against another master number like Oprah, born January 29th, which equals 11. And then we had Monique, born on December the 11th. They're just coming and showing themselves.
Wow.
These 11s are just
11th at war. Wow, that's crazy.
Because remember, 11 is the number of the reveal. It's a revelatory number. It's going to, Minister Farrakhan is an 11.
He said 2024 is going to be the year of what? What did Cat in the Hat say?
Okay. Oh, the reveal. The reveal.
It's going to be the year of the reveal. So he sets this calendar year off. He sets the fiscal year off with the what? With the reveal, with keeping it real, with speaking your truth. We're doing the same thing that Taraji and then we're doing. He just had longer to do it, and he's more of a skillful assassin.
Yes, and he did it. He did it in front of a Cancer. He born June 26th. Shay.
And he know how to appeal to Shay as the Cancer, and that's exactly what he did to let him stand down so he could continue the massacre.
And guess who's born the same day as Shay? Dr. York.
Wow.
Like, there is a lot. He used to reveal a lot through his insight too, and used to just listen to people. Because when I was there under the Ansar community, Doc used to sit down and listen to the algorithms of his community, and he have them ask them questions. That's how he was able to come up and then send his research team to go and verify and then bring it back to write the books. The women are the answer.
Right.
And that 8 is a woman energy. Go ahead.
Right.
So we got it's going to be a powerful 44-8 year this year. It's going to be a powerful 8 is still the build and destroy number, and it's going to be a good year for people born on the 8th, the 17th, and the 16th. But also a good year. Look at Rich. I love Rich. Also a good year for the Capricorns and the Aquarius on another side. But 11 is a master number that represents Aquarius. Also,
yes.
So, we're going to see it. And then the 44 is also an Aquarian number. So we got to pay attention to what's about to happen and have fun in it, enjoy it, allow it to be for you all the people out there, allow this platform Red and Blue's platform, my platform, Billy's, everybody's platform, Dr. B, everybody's platform that's doing something that's keeping you on a higher vibratory level and a mentally high level, because the true words I can say about the number 44, which is an 8, is that trusting the universe within yourself and understanding your connection to the macrocosmic universe, because that's what that represents also.
Fire. Yo, it's gonna be a party. Oh, go ahead, Blue. I'm sorry. I'll say it after you. Go ahead.
So supercharge itself coming in Aquarius season, because now we're dealing with, like you said, Aquarius equals 44 in Hebrew, but this is dealing with the 20-year window that Pluto will be in Aquarius from now until 2044. And ironically, the solar eclipse is going to hit on April 8th, right? Yep. That will not repeat itself either until 2044. So you got the eclipse and you got Pluto in Aquarius, you know, hitting on this 44 energy, of which was already amplified the way that this year started. So it's going to be very interesting. Like you said, you know, build and destroy, and, you know, it's going to be intense, but better.
And, you know, one more thing, you know, what's so funny, when I see that 4 and the 8 coming up, the 44 and then the 8 coming up, when you multiply 20 times 24, it equals 480. Again, it's showing its face. It's showing its face, that 4 and the 8. So you gotta, that's why I say look at things from a holistic perspective. A lot of people just want to add, some people want to subtract. I multiply because you see the trajectory when you start seeing, when you start multiplying, because multiplying is exaggerated addition.
When I ran my cipher for Cat Williams, I got his name at 84 4 different counting systems. So now I gotta delve into what the 84 energy and frequency is that, you know what I'm saying, Cat was resonating on, or is resonating on. And he came with the 8-pointed star of Banana and the chain woke in the middle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was
just remember those two numbers are disciplinary numbers. Either you can lose your discipline or you can heighten your discipline. It's discipline. Somebody's getting disciplined, being smacked right now. People are getting smacked and being revealed. And that's when we got disciplined as a child. Our mother's discipline, our fathers disciplined us. These are two disciplinary numbers.
So right, and now we're in the midst. We're in Capricorn season, so Saturn energy, that's disciplinary.
Right, and connected to the number 8, discipline. Now we're going to Aquarius, which is a 4, another discipline. Everything is coming to fruition. I'm loving it. Let's have fun in it. Rich,
in it, yes.
Love you, man. Blue, red, love y'all all the time.
Simon, before you leave, also we want to mention that Dr. Valentine has something coming up. I believe was that next Sunday.
Yeah, the 14th. He has a January 14th. Make sure y'all go to the Redux. It's going to be powerful. And also, I want to say condolences to Queen Afua's mom. She passed at 100 years of age.
Oh, man.
Passed on. She passed on. She born December 16th. She passed on December the 27th. After she got to see her sisters, and Queen took her to her land, and
she got to the farm, right?
Yeah, 100 years, and that is significant because we know when we used to go to the house and visit Queen, Mom was right there.
Right there.
Mom was in the kitchen. Mom was helping out. So yeah, let's give that centennial, that beautiful centennial, enough respect and honor to Ida Robinson. We love and respect you for what you've done, the Queen and Supernova and all, and of course Ali and the whole family, and you know. That's all love.
Yeah, right.
Yes. And remember, Queen is going to get the presidential award on February the 9th. Let's honor that with Biden and Kamala. That's going to be powerful. So
that is,
you know, big up to Bishop Sister Kafunya. Big up to her. Professor Smalls is coming.
Shout out to Sister Kafunya.
He coming now. But I love y'all, man, and I'll see y'all on the 15th, man. And my birthday is February 1st, so we're going to turn up.
Oh yeah, let's turn it up. Thank you, King Simon. Thank you, my brother.
Peace.
Yeah, family. So to wrap it up, it's definitely going to be a party. January 15th. Come bring in a New Year's in with us. Rep Hill got a new spot that he's at in the West End. It's way more convenient. Parking is way more easy.
Yes,
this is it, y'all. Brother Rich is going to be in rare form. Red Pill, you better ask me some good questions, man. Write down some Brother Rich type questions.
I'm gonna smoke the questions.
Ask me some good questions.
You know I'm going
640 Evans, y'all. And
I can't wait to play some music from y'all from Holy Ghost 3. I forgot to cue the music tonight, but it's all good because we're gonna party on January 15th.
That's what it do. Yeah, we're gonna turn up. We definitely gonna turn up. Family, if y'all want to be in the building, make sure to get your tickets, early bird tickets, only $20. It will be more, very much more at the door. All right. We got vendors in the building. We got food in the building. Chef Pablo will be in the building with the cosmic kale. You know what I'm talking about? He got these curry chickpeas.
Iterate, please.
Oh yeah, you won't be in town. Right. You won't be in town.
I'll have food there though.
But you will have food there. He will have food in the building. And I'm also gonna try to get
No, Blue, hold on. Blue ain't gonna be there on the 15th?
Nah, he won't be there. He has a
Blue,
commitment.
what the fuck? You missed the first album listening. Now you Blue, man, what's going on, Blue?
It was he got a commitment that already
man.
took place ahead of time.
Nobody asks me things. They tell me things after the fact.
Right.
Like,
it already took place. You was already booked.
I'm already
so what I'm gonna attempt to get from you is a 1 hour pre-recorded video, possibly. I know you're a busy man, but we could make it happen. So you could give what you was gonna give tonight, and that will be your presentation and your intro to them. Even though you'll be out of town, we're gonna attempt to make that happen. If not, we'll see you at the next one. But family, be in the building.
That's the thing that
via satellite. Then okay, we'll get the hologram blue pillar. Make sure y'all are in the West End on the 15th. It is going to be a movie. Good brother Jeff, we're gonna have the I Could Do Magic merch in the building.
What's the name of the track that y'all on? I'm sorry, I'm
Breathless. We got I Could Do Magic merch. We're going to have the merch with Kings County, KTL merch. We'll have a lot of things for the family in the building: music, consciousness, food, some open mic poetry.
So major vibe.
Much more. Major vibe. Yes, indeed.
Yo, just kick it with them for a second. I'm trying to
yes. And for the family that's been asking about where Red and Blue is because the channel got taken by YouTube, but don't worry about that because that is also a conversation that we'll be having in the either in the first quarter or the second quarter as to what we're gonna do legally about that. But we will be returning with a very, very, very powerful offering for the family. In the meantime, you could catch us on Patreon, where we've been doing a lot of great work and we've been putting in a lot of classic episodes and master classes with Ross Ben, Chicago Crypto. Go ahead.
I knocked a 4-week extensive out over there.
You smoked that shit. Blue smoked it. Yeah.
Ancestral Intelligence 101.
Ancestral Intelligence 101. Yes.
Did a follow-up to Quantum Quickening and When in Rome. So again, I want to say thank you. Red got me working, staying on top of my A game. It's impossible to gain any rust because I'm constantly doing research and putting presentations and presenting presentations. And again, it's an amazing way. I hear what everybody's saying about hibernation, and I agree as well. This is a wonderful time to conserve energy. I just be super active during this time.
Right.
This is when my downloads come and ideas, the ideation phase during this time, bar none. That's when the $1 billion deals and opportunities always open up and come through. So you got to stay focused because you can't catch every pass. You know what I'm saying? You got to get that one pass and run a touchdown.
Yes. There's a new music project entitled The Pillars Have Something to Say. It was put together during the Scorpion season. That is going to precede the Red Winter, which will be the follow-up to the Red Summer. So look out for new music. Look out for the new music drop. It is real. Shout out to the brother Cambada. Shout out to Black Magic. Shout out to the Holy Ghost 3 album. Shout out to everybody that made that album a classic, that put their fingerprints on that. And we honored to be a part of this history and whatnot and have our fingerprints on this follow-up to The Last Breath and whatnot and be in this movie. So yeah, appreciate that.
Yes, indeed. It's a high honor.
Honor.
And it's a classical project. It's something that very hard to put in words because in terms of the music, in terms of the lyricism and the execution, is transcendental. And it really needs to be put in the full scope of the third project in a 6-year, window, of which, these 3 projects that were put together, you know what I'm saying? They represent tiers, and we're watching the progression and the growth of not just artistry, of sound itself. And that sound that encases and encompasses consciousness,
Oh man!
The brother Cambada, he's singing on the album, and it's not a therapy attempt. You feel me? He's actually
all right. I think I'm ready.
Comfortable and getting into that particular vein and wave. So,
family, I'm gonna play this. Hopefully, this will play. I tried to cue it while they was just talking. First of all, it's gonna be a party on the 15th. Everybody got to come. We're gonna promote more, but it's gonna be ATLs. It's going down in ATL. But Holy Ghost 3 is not out on streaming platforms. For those who haven't bought the album, this is a track off the album featuring Red and Blue Pill, and it's called Breathless. We're gonna end the show with this, family. It's absolutely fire. Turn your volume up if you can. It's late. I hope this play because I'm getting y'all hype, and I hope this play. Red Pill look insane right now. He's representing Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tuck my chain in because I don't know where he at. I don't know if he's around here right now because the way he looking, Red's coming.
Red Shiesty, yeah.
My man Shiesty. But listen, this is Breathless, Holy Ghost 3, Cambada, Red Pill, and Blue Pillar, produced by Black Magic.
Let's get it.
Let's go. Red Pillar.
Crushing the socials, rushing through Ukraine, touching the locals. Quasi-Kodo, touching the coastals. Ethiopia, touching the opals. And quasi-nobles, kissing the ring. You niggas is Google, I'm ChatGPT mixed with a Bing. Lift every voice without lifting a thing. The baby was born with a gift for could sing. I'm the less Elon, straight out of Pelon. I'm victory lapping, watching history happen, mystery cracking. It's the elitists attacking the fetus, they packing the seats up, cracking like sleepers. They say it won't happen again, like Gay getting back with Adidas. He back with the heaters, back in the sweepers, all black like a back of fajitas. Used to get stacks for the features, now niggas they pay us with straps with the back of their sneakers. Just to come stack with the teachers. We made them a promise and made us some comments, they paid us some homage. We married the game and they gave us Madonna, no maiden, no honor. Rebuking the priestess like Sinead O'Connor. If I take the breath, God give you to breathe. And remove the air from the wind and the breeze. Superman to turn to Christopher Reeve. I injured his knee. I train the blood you got in you that bleeds. Chop the tree of knowledge down and pick up the leaves. Superman to turn to Christopher Reeve. I injured his knee. As I mumble on Pro Tools. Spaceship, I could hover and cloak too. I abducted and probe you. Got the tongue of a toad too. On the rumble with Goku. It wasn't even close. I thought somebody told you. I be munching on gold shrooms till I grow you like I jumped on a toadstool. Mirror, mirror, mirror on the wall. I'm hearing I'm the fairest of them all. I clearly am a pharaoh and a god. There is no comparing me to y'all. Repeat a mantra, manifesting wealth. So me and all my family have helped destroy the world and build it back better. My mind, I build a planet by myself. Unbelievable. I'm achieving the unachievable. I'm conceiving the unconceivable. All the demons that show me speak Hebrew. We play peekaboo. Unpredictable, unexplainable, inexplicable, undefinable, undescriptable, underrated, unequivocal, unforgivable. Feeling like I become invisible. Underground like the mud and mineral. Industry is so fucking pitiful. Only signing the thugs and criminals. Honestly, I would love to kill a few. Treat a rat like a blood and crip would do. Get in school, I would punch the principal. Treat the system like what would Hitler do. If I take the breath, God give you to breathe. And remove the air from the wind and the breeze. Superman to turn to Christopher Reeve. I injured his knee. I train the blood you got in you that bleeds. Chop the tree of knowledge down and pick up the leaves. Superman to turn to Christopher Reeve. I injured his knee. Dodging the rainstorms, gotta be chained on, frozen like brain freeze. Golden like 18, swollen like 18. From the borough where they take cream. Shit, we throw in the mainstream. Leave a nigga sniffing in state greens. Look, you're sweeter than pastries, cheaping on lace weaves. Got a nigga face ski. Say cheese, had to rub it in like grapeseed. Till it bleed blue like Grape Street. Spitting over rape beats, slipping off her waist beats. I got the gas, baked beans. God is a nap that can make me. Nod in an app, make cream. I got it in the bag, rake leaves. I did dirt since my late teens. Now it's a must that we stay clean. Establish trust, stay cream. Added up with no late fees. Mad as fuck when you waste cream. It's adding up through the late fees. Mars attack, that's a space beat. Mars attack like a hate speech. Mars intact like we make drinks. Mars is back like a lace string. Look, roll up some trees, we can pour up some tea. Flow like a seed and you know that it's me. Pablo appearing on Holy Ghost 3. Throw us a beat, we go bon appetit. Home, I'm a beast on the road, I'm a freak. We don't fuck, we don't speak, that's the code of the street.
If I take the breath, God give you the breathe. And remove the air from the wind and the breeze. Superman to turn to Christopher Reeve. That engine is deep. If I drain the blood, you got in you that bleeds. Chop the tree of knowledge down and pick up the leaves. Superman to turn to Christopher Reeve. That engine is deep.
Okay.
Yo, if y'all want that energy, come out on the 15th. If y'all wanna experience that energy, come out on the 15th, y'all. Come out on the 15th. That shit. Oh man, that
That shit is pure energy.
Oh my god, that's riot music. That's like, man.
That's that Cat Williams, nigga. That's that Cat Williams, nigga. That's that cat in a hat, nigga.
His name Cat Daddy.
Cat Daddy.
Son of them niggas. Okay.
Spanking these niggas.
Son of them niggas.
Yeah, we live in a post Cat Williams world. You know what I'm talking about? Look, what's the name of the tour that he's on?
What is it?
Dark Matter Tour.
Dark Matter Tour.
So,
and we had
DMT.
Facts.
Cat Williams tour is called Dark Matter Tour?
Right after we did Dark Matter Timing with A.A. Rashid in Atlanta.
We brought back the Dark Matter Think Tank.
Brought it back. The Dark Matter Think Tank.
Dark Matter Tour.
Talking about he watching our stuff, man.
All right, family. Let's get out of here, man. Such a magnificent show. Red pill, blue pill. Thanks for coming on once again. Make sure y'all follow these brothers. It's going down January 15th. Other than that, thanks for everybody tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. Do what you got to do, family. Stay tapped in. What Cat Williams told them to say before they go to bed, Red? What you said? He said,
be grateful. Be thankful for your day and all of your experiences. And the fact that if you don't wake up, you did this motherfucker like every day was your last.
Like it was your last. Right. On that note, family. Peace, family. Peace.